Alrighty folks, hello there, this is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic the Gathering Arena draft video. So, I'm going to start the video with usually something different that I don't usually do. Since I have 5k gold, I feel inclined to just do a quick draft. Not sure what format is currently available for quick draft, but hopefully it's something spicy. And then we're going to do some traditional best out of 3 Neon Dynasty draft, since I've been pretty successful at getting up to 3 wins. As you can see from my gem count, it's gotten a lot higher. Usually it's been pretty scarce since usually the premier drafts, again, has been hit or miss. And given that I'm already 1,273 Mythic, it's going to be incredibly difficult to climb even higher at this point. And yeah, the rewards, like if you get the 4 wins, sure, you get most of your gems back in Premier Draft, and in Traditional you get only 1,000 gems. However, once you get to 6 wins total in Traditional Draft, which is the maximum amount, that's around 3 wins for the match. For the matches, you get more than 1,800. In fact, you get 3,000 gems in a couple of packs, which is definitely more lucrative than Premier. Plus, the difficulty in Best Out of 3 is a lot less than Premier Draft, whereas like in Premier Draft, they kind of tie you up with your ranking or the amount of losses which you have accumulated. I think we're just going to do some quick draft for now, use up our 5k gold, and do some traditional draft afterwards. We'll see what's up. So what do we have for quick draft? All right, Crimson Vow. I did do a couple of drafts with this not too long ago, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be going away soon since there's no timer. Although I could be wrong. But yeah, we can just do a quick draft, Crimson Vow, go through the set again, try to recall everything that we remembered. But yeah, at the end of the format, I thought that red-black was still kind of like the best 2 colors, but I come to conclude that maybe blue-red is a lot better as a more deeper colors in the format. Looking at some of the statistics from 17 lands, not to say black isn't a strong color, but in terms of commons, they aren't very deep past the first 2. Whereas in blue, there's a lot more interesting stuff you can do, and the uncommons are a lot better, and usually blue's more open. So yeah, this is bot draft, so we'll see what the bots hand to us. They can give us all the nutty black rares and bombs, and then all the great black uncommons, and we can go from there. But we'll see. So pack 1, pick 1, quick draft, Crimson Vow. What do we have the fine pleasure of opening? All right, Necro Duality is a bomb. If you can play it in a blue-black zombies deck, it is definitely a very narrow pick, but the reward is really high for first picking this if you can force blue-black, or if it's really open. The best uncommon here is Brambleworm, pretty excellent, although green is considered the worst color in this format, even though it's definitely improvement over Midnight Hunt. Green is not particularly synergistic with most of the other colors outside of red. Restless Bloodseeker is also pretty decent if you can gain life in your black decks. Usually black-white is considered a life gain deck in this format, but there's multiple ways to gain life outside of white-black, even in like black-red, for example. And then the best common here is probably Falkenrath Celebrants. I would take it over Fierce Retribution and Wolf Strike, both solid removal spells. But yeah, as we've drafted this format like a couple of times already, the removal, even though there's full of bombs in this format and powerful rares and mythics, you don't necessarily always need removal constantly, and the commons and the uncommons do, even though they're definitely, in terms of power level, they're a lot weaker than the mythics, and the rares are still cards that matter within the draft, within the game by a lot. So you don't always have to be on the lookout for removal just to deal with every game hoping the opponent doesn't cast Red Feast Demon, but it's always a looming feeling that they will. So yeah, I don't mind first picking Necro Duality and maybe seeing if blue-black is open. I think the upside is a lot higher than Falkenrath Celebrants, which would be my second pick out of this pack, just to be in red, the best color. And yeah, take it from there. My third pick would be Brambleworm here, I think. I think it would be 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then 5. But yeah, we'll try Necro Duality. Is just too good if we end up in blue-black, so we'll see if it's open. As we get past Biolumig and Bleed Dry, both for excellent cards. Looking at the 17 lands data, they state that Biolumig actually is one of the highest performing uncommons and even higher than Bleed Dry. And yeah, so I can maybe take a guess at this. And either way, if we're going to be playing Necro Duality, we want to be in the blue-black exploit deck anyways with a bunch of zombies. Bleed Dry, I also don't think is the best common from the data. It's kind of in 4th place. The best common in this set is between Abrade and Flame Blessed Bolt, and then the 3rd one is Traveling Minister, and then 4th actually goes to Bleed Dry. Not saying black is by. It's not saying that black is you know is. But black is definitely not weak. It's the highest density of rares and bombs in this format, but the commons do tend to again just drop off after the first 2, and then the top black commons are like all filling up the 4-drop department, so it gets kind of awkward at times. So I think we'll just take a Biolumic here, and then we'll see if we end up blue-black exploits. Either way, if we end up in like blue-white or even like blue-red with an exploit package is quite good. Alright, this pack we have Stitch Assistant, we have Wandering Mind and Traveling Minister as the top cards in this pack. So we could just stick with our theme and just take the Stitch Assistant for the Biolumic, although we're passing up Traveling Minister, which is actually, yeah, one of the top commons in the set. Like, we could still maybe end up blue-white and maybe have an exploit package we want to. Also note, Infestation Expert is also quite good, but again, I don't really want to draft green this format as much. Yeah, this is interesting. We can go blue-red, we can pivot into white, or, again, we could just take Stitch Assistant, which just plays well with our package. For the most part, I usually don't want... I would never take, like, a Stitch Assistant over a Traveling Minister, but I think with what we currently have, I think it makes sense to just follow it with a synergistic pick, and it also keeps us on color. So we do have to take a much more weaker card, but if it's more synergistic with what we currently have, then it's going to just be as powerful, or if not even more powerful than, say, Traveling Minister. So we'll take a Stitch Assistant here. Not usually a pick again I would normally make. Okay, maybe black is open since we're seeing Hero's Downfall, Darkgraph Scavenger, Rot-Tide Gargantua, and Undead Butler, so the exploit package would be open. It seems open. There's also a Kindly Ancestor if we end up in blue-white auras as a fine 3-drop. That can, enable some aura synergies. But again, I think we're going to move into blue-black, and then which card do we want out of this pack? Undead Butler and Rot-Tide would be the most synergistic options if we're going all in with its exploit game plan. However, Hero's Downfall is just a premium removal spell, so I think I gotta take it over the more synergistic choices. If I was to take a synergistic choice, it would be Undead Butler, and if I would just take the most powerful, well-rounded card, it would be between Scavenger and Hero's Downfall. And again, I think it's really important to have good interaction, so I think I'll take Downfall over Undead Butler, which would actually be my second pick out of the pack. But yeah, hopefully if we end up blue-black, we should have enough things to exploit. But yeah, it's hard to pass this up. Alright, in this pack, nothing too exciting. Edgar's Awakening, not really a big fan of this card unless you're in black-red. Usually you want to discard this card and with a blood token, and then draw a card, and then, you want to discard card, draw a card with the blood token, and then return a creature to your hand. Usually 5 mana for reanimation spells, not where you want to be unless you have some expensive like bombs that you're looking to reanimate, which is not really easy to do. So we could just take Undying Malice. I think has the most synergy if we end up in blue-black. You can do some neat tricks with this card, like so before you exploit the card, you can use Undying Malice, you exploit the creature, and then you get another copy. So exploit creatures can also exploit themselves too if you want to re-trigger their enter the battlefield effects or their exploit abilities. Again, like for example, if you play Stitch Assistance, once it enters the battlefield, the abilities on the stack, you can use Undying Malice on your own Stitch Assistant, sacrifice itself, and it comes back and uses its ETB again. So I think we'll just take an Undying Malice just for synergy reasons. Overall, nothing exciting out of the pack, no top commons. Okay, this is interesting. The best black common here is Blood Crazed Socialite, but again, this card is just much better in a red-black Vampires deck, which is looking to beat down and generate blood tokens. I think the card that we're more interested in is actually Desperate Farmer. This card is at its best in the blue-black deck since you're always looking to exploit, and then your creatures end up dying, and once it ends up dying, a 4/3 lifelinker is pretty difficult to deal with. Not a big fan of Wretched Throng. I think there's enough better 2-drops to exploit and enough creatures to exploit. You don't need to put a bunch of 2/1s in your deck just to have some creatures to exploit and draw. And yeah, I'm not against a Wretched Throng, I just don't think it's very good. So we'll take a Desperate Farmer. I think again this is a synergistic pick over a higher powered pick and I think it's kind of correct with what the direction we're going towards, and it does seem fairly open, so we'll take a Desperate Farmer. And then there's this pack, could take a second Desperate Farmer. Blood Fountain could also be okay. It is kind of slow though, and it's not that good. But maybe we just still take it, just to have maybe an option in the sideboard, since we have an Undying Mouse and Farmer already. Farmer is kind of replaceable, but still pretty good in blue-black, so I don't really need more than one copy. And again, I'm not really sure if I'm going to be an aggressive red-black deck, since red doesn't seem particularly open. But yeah, this is the best card in the pack by far. But I think we'll take a Blood Fountain here and then put in the sideboard, just in case. And then that's a pretty late Wedding Invitation. This card's also quite good and a bit of a sleeper. It's best in the black-red deck, obviously, since you want to really give a Vampire lifelink. But the fact that it replaces itself and draws a card is nice. So you can even play this in black, blue, red if you have some of those creatures that reward you for casting non-creature spells. But maybe I still take Alchemist Retrieval, although Retrieval is just kind of medium. I think maybe I can speculate on perhaps a Wedding Invitation, even though it doesn't have much synergy with what we have. Maybe it's just a lot better than Retrieval, and we can always pick up one later that will just take the Wedding Invitation. So sure, we'll just take again. This time we're taking a more powerful card over something more powerful card that might not make our deck over something that's more replaceable and we can pick up later. So we'll take a Wedding Invitation. Maybe there's a chance we pivot off into black-red, who knows? And then this pack doesn't have much. Reckless Impulse is actually not a bad card, but it's as a pretty decent 1-up, but there's enough card advantage usually in this format that you don't need it. Either way, I'm still going to take it because, again, nothing else exciting. And then we'll take our Alchemist Retrieval now since, we passed 1-up already. Seen some like green cards, Spore Crawler's fine, but overall, again, green just doesn't play well with any of the other colors except red in this format. So we'll take a Alchemist Retrieval here. And then, yeah, not much. Not even sure if I'll play Fear Death, but who knows. We'll cut off some blue. And then, I don't know. There's plenty of counter spells that come in this format. None of them are nowhere near as powerful as, say, Flip the Switch in Midnight Hunt. But yeah, we can always, again, put this in the sideboard if we want. The fact that it makes a blood token could be fine. But it's less flexible than something, say, Syncopate or Geist Light Snare. But we'll take it anyways. And then there's a late Ragged Recluse, so if we need to pivot off into like red-black vampires or even black-whites, then there's an option too with like Wedding Invitation, Reckless Impulse, and Blood Fountain. Right, and then yeah, it seems like our first pack went pretty well. We kind of have a plan with our blue-black deck. Let's hopefully we get past more powerful blue-black cards, and if not, we can pivot into like maybe blue-red or blue or black-red, depending on what we open or get past. So we'll see. As we open up Anje, Maiden of Dishonor. I mean, I can try to splash for it. Yeah, Anje is a bomb, so we could try to splash for her maybe. I think it's a lot more powerful than Scavenger. This is a Reclusive Taxidermist, which is a pretty good, decent green uncommon. Same with the Dormant Grove. But yeah, we could just try to splash Anje. There's a bit of fixing in this format. Maybe we can pick up a couple of Evolving Wilds to make it happen. I think the card's just too good. And even then, it does have some synergy in blue-black. If we get some creatures that we're looking to sacrifice, like a Biolumic, it's fine. And hopefully we can wield a Scavenger, which, if we weren't to pick a powerful card like Anje, we would take. But I think it's just too good that we could consider splashing her or just go all in red-black as we get past a Falconraft Celebrants here. But there's also Thirst for Discovery, so this is a little bit of a rough pick. What are chances that we move into red-black? We have a couple of red-black kind of cards, like Impulse, Wedding Invitation, and Ragged Recluse, but we didn't pick up any red removal in the previous pack. We did see a couple of vampires, but maybe we're more inclined towards blue-black that we gotta just take the Thirst for Discovery here. I think they're both similar in terms of power level. Maybe the Falconraft Celebrants slightly more, since it gives you a 4/4 menace. But yeah, given our goal to do the whole Necro duality thing, I think it's fine maybe taking Thirst for Discovery over like even Desperate Farmer, since it's kind of unexciting compared to these two. So we'll just hope and pray blue-black is open and take the Thirst. As we get past another Thirst for Discovery, no amazing red cards here. I mean, I'm down to run double Thirst for Discovery, and then this way our card draw set. Mindless School is a fine exploit payoff, but it's not that good. It's one of the more weaker to exploit creatures. You know, you can always, it's better to actually play like a Doom Dissenter on 2 over Mind Leech Ghoul. There's also like a Crow Witness, which is a fine aggressive flyer, but I think we're more interested in the Thirst for Discovery. So we'll see. Okay, Dargraph Scavenger is nice over Blood Crazed Socialite, which is, you know, also a black-red gold card, but maybe bots don't see it like that. Maybe bots just think, hey, if we're not in blue-black, we're gonna pass the Socialite, but it actually plays better in a deck that's trying to play Anje. But we can just easily take a Dargraph Scavenger here, which is also a zombie for Necro Duality, so that's great. And yeah, it does seem open, and we'll take a Repository Scob as a decent payoff. Exploit creature for blue-black again, especially if we can get back some of our powerful instances or sorceries. Yeah, we can even like get back Undying Malice and do some weird things with this. So we'll take it here. Best card in this pack is like Paxton Pup. There's also Epicure late. But yeah, blue-black looks open. Getting past Thirst for Discovery, Scavenger. Although now we're getting past a Belligerent Guest. I don't really want to even play Dreadfuge even as a sideboard option in best out of 3, but it's not best out of 3. So, I don't know, we'll take a Belligerent Guest. There's a chance, again, we somehow end up blue-red or black-red, who knows. And then we'll probably just take our Mind Leech Ghoul now, just because we don't have any cheap exploiters currently, over a second Repository Scob, which we should be fine in terms of 4-drops. Yeah, especially Duality, we want some cheap zombies, so now we'll pick this up over Wedding Invitation, still in the pack, funny enough. And then, I do like the Kessig Flame Breather, but I think we're still gonna... I don't really want pointed discussion in this deck, to be honest, because we have Double Thirst, but overall, nothing else. Maybe I can speculate on Ceremonial Knife. Not sure. And then this pack is just kind of whatever. Late Dormant Grove, not a big fan of Dreadlight Monstrosity. And then, yeah, we'll probably play a second Farmer if we get more exploiters, since we're kind of light on playables. Not sure if we'll play Honored Heirloom. And we even wield the Mind Leech Ghoul in the pack with Anje, so that's good. So, alright, it seems like we're settled in blue-black. Next pack, we need to pick up some cheap exploiters, maybe some more powerful 5-drops like the Raw Tide Gargantua, some fixing for Anje. So we'll see. We'll keep this up. And wow, yeah, Toxrill is a bomb. Yeah, one of the best mythics in the set, and perfect in our deck since we're kind of we're in blue-black for the activated ability. Although it's just good by itself, you don't even really need to have the activated ability. Once you drop it, and 1 or 2 turns pass by, you just instantly win the game. Card is pretty almost don't want to say it's unbeatable, but it requires an immediate answer. So definitely the slam dunk here. Best common is a Braid. Best uncommon here is Paxton Pup. But we'll take a Toxrill here as we get past this pack, which doesn't have much. We could probably take a Doom Dissenter here, since we're lacking creatures to exploit. We have a Biolumig, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, currently no creatures to exploit, so our deck can be kind of awkward if we don't have access to, say, a Doom Dissenter or the Undead Butler at 2. So we're probably going to take it over, say, Chill the Grave, which is also plays best in blue-black since it gets a discount, but gonna have to take our important common here, so take our Doom Dissenter. And then we can probably make room for a Chill the Grave now. Seems some white cards here too. Circle Confinement, pretty good. Heron of Hope, Infantry. I think I'll take it over a Syncopate. Just because it's cheaper and it replaces itself. So we'll try it out. And then I do like Scatter Thoughts, but I'm not sure if this deck needs it with Double Thirst for Discovery. So, as weird as it seems, I did state that I didn't like Wretched Throng, but maybe it's time for us to pick up a Wretched Throng now, given we have so much card advantage already, and it's kind of awkward if we need to play like 3 card draw spells with Scatter Thoughts. By far the best card in this pack, along with maybe Old Rutstein, but not a big fan of blue-black, so, but I still maybe think we take the Wretched Throng. There's also Cobble Lancer, but we need something in the graveyard in order to cast this, and even then, it's just kind of whatever. So I don't know, Wretched Throng maybe makes a cut now. And then we'll probably take a Raw Tide Gargantua, which we were talking about in the previous pack. More synergy. Sure. And then could also use a Gift of Fangs, even though this is at its best in a red-black deck, which is full of vampires sometimes. You can use this to maybe kill something. And we don't have much cheap removal in this deck. So we'll take it. And alright, we can maybe take a Grizzly Ritual, which is fine. An expensive removal spell, but it's still okay. Yeah, you can see the power level of the commons are definitely a lot weaker than the busted rares and mythics, and compared to Innistrad Midnight Hunt. I will still take it here, it's pretty good. And then, do I want a Ragged Recluse? Probably not, but Evolving Wilds is nice for Anja. We can, yeah, fix for Anja, and that's quite incredible. So we'll take it here. And then there's an Undying Malice, don't need it. Maybe don't need a second copy, maybe take a Dread Fugue. Geistlight Snare is interesting too, but we don't have any spirits, so it's just going to be a 3-mana counter spell, which is not too different. Oh, can even take a Syncopate, I guess, now. Yeah, Syncopate's pretty good. Alright, this deck is not particularly all that perfect, but it has some powerful cards. We're definitely missing some creatures to exploit, which could get kind of awkward at times. But yeah, maybe we can just throw in the Wretched Throng for the hell of it. It's still a zombie for the Necro Duality, and we have 40 cards already. Is there a chance we play Ragged Recluse? It's not a creature I, again, want to exploit, and we don't have that many blood tokens outside of Anja, which can make one. Yeah, so maybe we just run something like this and try to get away with it. And then the mana base, could just run 1 mountain, or maybe 2 mountains could be fine. And then we can just keep it even split. We're still at 8/8 if we keep this package. Could also cut a mountain, but if we can't find other Evolving Wilds or mountain and they're in the bottom of our library, it's kind of annoying. So sure, we'll just try double mountain here. And then if we draw our mountains early, hopefully Evolving Wilds can help us fetch blue and black. And then if we, again, like, we don't have that much exploit fodder, but it's not wrong just exploiting our own Mind Leech School for the hell of it. So we'll see. Let's give this a shot. Maybe this deck will help us get outside of 1,200 Mythic, or get past it, and then yeah, we'll probably do some best out of 3 drafts afterwards. Could have been maybe black-red, but didn't see too much red removal outside of 1 Abrade and pack 3 pick 1. So the bots maybe were taught that Flame Blessed Bolt and Abrade were high priority picks. So I'm not too upset, but you know, this deck is pretty decent with yeah, pretty good Toxrill obviously, so couldn't have really abandoned black or, you know, blue at all, given the first 3 picks and then Toxrill. So alright, at least we're facing against people of similar rankings and not someone who's like top 10 Mythic. Alright, this hand isn't bad. We have Necro Duality in our starting hand, some fine removal. Yeah, I can't say no to Necro, especially after we play it and then we cast a couple of zombies. We can just take over the game. So sure, we'll keep this. So hopefully not red-black, or at least give me a target for Gift of Things. Yeah, Wedding Invitation, good card. Next turn we can maybe keep up Hero's Downfall or Syncopates. Might just pull the plug on Syncopate since this is just more useful if a creature slips through the cracks, so we'll see. Yeah, I can counter that. It's kind of annoying. Although it doesn't really do much, but I mean, it does allow us to curve out if we counter this. So sure. We can at least resolve Necro Duality and then maybe play out Rot-Tide, Gargantua. Yeah, we'll just do this, and next turn we can maybe egg into Gift of Fangs. Get some Scry going, get our land. Opponent's also just not doing much. Did he miss his land drop? That's kind of awkward. Alright, I could play out Wretched Throng and just make copies. And then if we get a land, we can exploit one of them with Rot-Tide, or just run out Biolumig. Maybe Biolumig is just more mana efficient, but this provides a bit more pressure. Not sure, I think we'll just do the mana efficient play for now. We're not like in a hurry to kill them. And then don't hate the land plus Stitch Assistant, I'll keep. Next turn we'll play a Rot-Tide, sacrifice the egg, and then we'll make another Rot-Tide. And then if he plays a large creature, we can edict it with the Rot-Tide, so We'll see if he taps out for a Falconraft Celebrants. Just an epic here, so that doesn't really play well with Raw Tide, nor does our gift get rid of it. But maybe we still run it out. Opponent's probably planning something here, not sure. Fearful Villager, that's fine. Introducing the day and nighttime cycle. Yeah, it's probably fine playing out the Raw Tide, because either way, we have no way. We don't really want to use a premium removal spell to get rid of this. Give the Fangs also gives it +2/+2 since it's a vampire, so probably just fine running this out. Next turn we can run out Wretched Throng and Stitch Assistance, so now we get to make a token of a Raw Tide Gargantua, and we get to sack one of the egg, and then we'll probably not exploit with the second one. And then we'll probably decline to exploit here just to keep our 5/4. And then, yeah, we get a lot of tempo out of this. There's also not too many sweepers in this format, but there is a red one called By Invitation Only that I might need to be, not by invitation only, but the Burden Down the House. No, actually that was a Midnight Hunts, never mind. Yeah, there's no black or red sweepers in this format. There's one red sweeper, but it only deals 2 to all. And against a board like this, it's not really that good, so I might not even exploit the Wretched Throng next turn. Could just play out my Wretched Throngs and Stitch Assistance and not exploit. Just because the benefit of exploiting it really isn't that much if you just draw a card and scry, whereas like if you can make multiple copies and just go wide, that's usually just a lot better. So we'll see what the opponent does here. Could just take 2 if he attacks, since we're swinging back with 14. Yeah, we can just like easily win the game, almost. I guess he might have a way to get something back here. Scavenger, alright, that's fine, he can exile his own creature. So yeah, I don't mind just using the Gift of Fangs on Scavenger. It doesn't kill it, but it's essentially prevents it so that the Death Touch effect won't happen. Yeah, I'm fine doing that. Let's Gift of Fangs the Diagraph Scavenger. And I'm okay attacking with all. So yeah, now he has to kind of use it to chump, which I'm okay with. And if he has a trick here, then I'm going to use Hero's Downfall on the 2/3. Could be a Sure Strike. Surprised he didn't block the 5/4. I guess he could also have a sweeper, not sure. Very interesting here. I think I'll run out the Wretched Throng here. Maybe step the Stitch Assistant for next turn. Yeah, he has a Flame Blast Bolt. Surprise again, he didn't use it on a 5/4, but I guess this has evasion. But yeah, we'll just run out the Wretched Throng and make 2 copies. That's fine. No creatures in the yard, so he doesn't gain the life. I guess he has to exile his own Fearful Villager in order to gain life. And yeah, we can easily just Hero's Downfall this and attack, I think, and we should be fine. Hopefully no Undying Malice. Anja's pretty good. I think this can eat a Hero's Downfall. Undying Malice would be kind of annoying, right? But, however, he doesn't gain any life here. You can exile something but no life gain, and it's also tapped, so we still get to chonk in for a ton of damage. And he has no big vampires to gain him life, and yeah, if he takes a hit again, he can easily lose, so. Gotta keep in mind this makes the creature come in tapped, so. Fellstinger. Exploiting itself. But yeah, I don't think you can beat a board with 4 creatures with this much mana, so we got him. Sweet. And we didn't draw a single mountain that game, so I think we still keep it double red with 1 Evolving Wilds. But yeah, in terms of color power rankings, red is number 1, and then I think blue is number 2, and then black. Whereas in the in my previous draft videos, I did announce that obviously red was the first, but I thought black would be number 2 and then white number 3. But it goes to show, looking at the data, the blue actually outperforms over the black in this format. So, and blue, it might be because black is kind of overrated and overdrafted in this format, given how there's so many high density of rare blacks, powerful black rares, and then bleed dry is kind of like the removal spell that answers all the creatures. But yeah, I think blue is just, in terms of commons, are just a lot deeper. Like Lantern Bearer, past Lantern Bearers, there's also just Scattered Thoughts, and even the exploit creatures are pretty good. The Repository Scob and Stitch Assistant, and then also Brine Combr, Wandering Mind are both excellent multicolor uncommons. And then the Egg is great. Same with Storm Chaser Drake, Diver Scob. So Thirst for Discovery. So whereas black just has a Scavenger, some removal, Socialite, but maybe still a bit of step down below black. This is not really that great of an exciting hand. We don't have any early things to exploit, but we have all 3 of our colors, which could be important. So I'll try it, and hopefully we draw into some goodies. Blue-red, so probably see a Wandering Mind next turn. The fact that Wandering Mind draws them a card and I might have to kill it kind of hurts, but again, it is what it is. Got a red mana. And we can hide the black mana for now. Could just run out Stitch Assistant without value. A 3-mana 3/2 isn't the worst, or we can just kill this one. Or we can just kill it next turn, I suppose. Although, if I kill it next turn, I don't have much to follow up. So, I think this can eat a removal spell, and I'm totally fine. And then we can even Scavenger it next turn, I guess, so that makes a lot more sense. Looking at the graveyard, Cobble Lancer. Alright, well that dodges the Diregraph Scavenger, so we could also just bounce this back. Which could be something to do, but I'm fine just running out my own Stitch Assistant. Could see a counterspell. Yep. Alright. Make sure we get our double black for Toxrill eventually. So yeah, it gets kind of awkward when you don't have much to exploit, because now the Rot-Tide Gargantua and all of our exploit creatures are kind of just these understated creatures without special effects. Gutter Skulker, alright. Opponent's gonna try to out-tempo me. Probably just have to run out the Rot-Tide since I don't have much mana to keep up Syncopate if I run any of these 4-drops out. And then I don't think I sacrifice the Rot-Tide here. I think we're just fine just declining and hope the opponent doesn't have interaction. We can maybe bounce this back and counter it eventually since this exiles. Opponent also has blood. Alright, Dreadlight Monstrosity is a good one. So I guess I can bounce it back. This is War 2, which, I still have enough for Syncopate if I play out the land. So I think I'm fine just bouncing it and then countering it on the way back. I don't really want to take 6, so I think I have to stay back. I mean, if I take 5 and 6, it's a lot, so I think I just gotta keep taking hits from this Gutter Skulker and just counter this. Although, yeah, I guess he can pay for 1. So I guess I messed up here. I should have maybe bounced Gutter Skulker, but I guess if I bounced it, it wouldn't have done much anyways. So that was definitely a blunder on my behalf, so guess we'll just take it. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Toxrill maybe will save us. We just need one more land. Alright, Toxrill can save us. I guess we'll just run out to Scob here then, without exploiting anything. which kind of sucks, but maybe it's the right thing to do. I could exploit and get back to retrieval to bounce, but man, I think that's too much of a stretch. We'll just say go, keep up the one syncopate. Highly doubt he has much expensive stuff in a blue-red deck, but you never know. So we just gotta keep taking 3, and then hopefully Toxrill can save our butts. Villager, kind of annoying, since it has Menace, but we can still block everything here, except the 3/3. So, give me a land, please, off the top game. Land, please. Alright, there it is. Alright, let's go. Let's drop our legendary Toxrill, the Corrosive, and hope there's no counterspell. No, please let it resolve. Resolve, opponent, let it resolve. He's holding up Priority of the Blood. It's not a counterspell. I mean, it's either he cycles for one now or he doesn't. Alright, that's good. So now we can just pass a turn, sit quietly, and then hopefully he doesn't find any answers to Toxrill, and we can just eliminate his board presence. So hopefully no interaction here, and I can just, otherwise I have to trade, replay Toxrill, and then take 5, which isn't good. If he lets me untap, I'll have access to Syncopate next turn. And then I do want to make sure this dies before I drop the Scavenger, so I can exile it. So he might have like a braid or something, I'm thinking. Okay, I guess he can make it unblockable, but that's only 4 damage as opposed to 2. No creatures in your yard for me to exile. Okay. I guess I can eliminate his board next turn, so that's fine. And then could just run out the egg, I suppose, or I can keep up Syncopate for a ton of mana if something was to go awry. Yeah, not sure here. I guess it's only sacrifice slugs and not the Biolumic. I think I need to keep a Syncopate, because it's just too important. And then I guess we'll just pass a turn and then just make some slug tokens, and we can sack them to Toxrill end of turn if we want. Hopefully no pump spell here. I do a Scavenger to gain some life next turn. I guess I can counter anything if he tries to push through damage. Although I hope he can't play X equals 6. That's fine. Let's see what he has. I have 18 damage. I guess if I don't sack any slugs, I can just attack for lethal. I can attack, do 18 damage, since it's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Wait, this is 10, 18. If I play Scavenger, I can exile and drain him for 2. That can't block. So I think he's dead. Unless I guess he can still keep this around for a turn. So he could still chump block with it. So maybe it's fine still sacking a slug. Yeah, I guess that's okay. Get some card advantage going. Mind Leech School is interesting. I mean, I'll make more slugs end of turn, so I should be able to be okay sacrificing everything here. I guess Grizzly Ritual, but I would have to cast a Scavenger. Alright, let's do this. First things first, let's fire this off. Let's exile the Skulker. Let's move to combat. Attack with all, Pricium, Chump, Toxrill. There's no sweepers. I think I'm fine playing out Biolumig here too. Yeah, Biolumig is fine. And then Anya's pretty good, so we'll keep that on top. And then end of turn, we get to evaporate this. He would need to pump this into 6 power to kill us, which is going to be pretty difficult unless he has like multiple ancestral angers, which, you know, is really difficult to get. So yeah, we got it. Toxrill to the rescue. So yeah, the bombs are definitely controversial in this set, and they can steal games, and that's definitely an example of me stealing a game. But you should still, you know, draft this set and think and realize, you know, that doesn't always happen, and when it doesn't, you can actually have pretty fun and fair games of Magic in this format. That wasn't the best example, but you know what I mean. Alright, well, 2-drop, 3-drop, maybe exploits, transform the Desperate Farmer. We'll try it. Maybe if we get some instances, we can cast them and get them back with Scob. So it's at least a curve I can contend with. Although we need double black for heroes, so gotta reveal to him. So cool, that's fine. Probably won't exploit. If he does exploit, I'm gonna be pretty surprised. But now we can round out Farmer, and then I think we're fine attacking with the Wretched Throng. Yeah, and if he trades, it's transforms, so he probably doesn't have a good block here. So I need my double black going. There's nothing to get back with Scob. I mean, sacrificing this just to transform isn't the worst, but it's also just, you don't get any value off of it, which is kind of weird, so I think we're fine. Maybe just, if we don't draw our swamp next turn, we just sit back and do nothing. Alright, that's okay. So now I'm better off trading. Ooh, Evolving Wilds. I think we need to look for our swamp here with the Evolving Wilds. Yeah, otherwise, Raw Tide is... we can't do much, and I think we stay back here given that he's winning the race. Point to discussion, that's fine. Yeah, the responsible thing to do would be to get the mountain in case we get Anje, but we do have Thirst for Discovery, and again, I just want to curve out into Rot Tide next turn, so hopefully doing this doesn't punish us. So we'll grab our Black Source. And then we can move the combat attack. And if he doesn't block, then we can deal 2 damage for free. And then we can Rot Tide and make him sack the Mind Leech School. Since it's essentially trading off a Throng anyways. And then maybe we can keep up Counter Spell or Hero's Downfall the next following turn. Green? That's not really a color combination I see all that often, but that's fine. And then, do I want to shuffle my library again? I mean, I could just shuffle for the hell of it. Why not? Like these, I don't know what's on top. It doesn't really matter, so. Hiveheart Shaman, that will have to die. Toxril's great, but this can go and we can keep up Syncopate for 1. Can't really allow that card to attack and allow him to fix and activate. It is a slow card, and you definitely take the top commons over it, but it's still pretty powerful if you end up in a green deck, obviously. But it's still very slow. That's fine. Make sure I click fast so he doesn't really know that we have a counter spell. Give me a 3-cost creature, please. I could also just not counter it. I mean, I guess I can't counter this anyway, so we'll let this resolve. And then, if he exploits itself, then what do we get rid of? Probably this Gob, since we want to keep up maybe Syncopate for next turn. Yeah, I'm down for that. Even though I want to get back Hero's Downfall, we don't have any exploit fodder. So I think Scob can go. And then we'll keep up X equals 4 next turn, which, yeah, it's going to be really hard for him to cast anything. And we'll run out land for Toxrill, attack for 5. And then we can basically counter almost anything the opponent throws out next turn. Give me something juicy. Like a Cemetery Desecrator, and it also ends up getting exiled, so perfect. Hey, we can even bounce a creature back next turn and kill him if we want. If he plays Dreadfeast Demon, that can block, but he has nothing to sack to it, so yeah, some powerful rares. Rot Tithe, okay, we can bounce our own if we want. Do I want to? I mean, I could bounce my own and then just replay it. I think I like that. I guess he doesn't have to exploit now. Yeah, maybe that was a bit of a misplay. That was kind of stupid. I messed that one up. Alright, Egg isn't bad. I guess I can step Egg and Rot Tide, so that's fine. Scry land on top, and then we can do some other things. Alright, land is good. And how about Doom Dissenter? Doom Dissenter isn't the worst, but however, it's getting to the point where I want maybe something else. So I think I can safely bottom it, and then save land for Toxrill. Flourishing Hunter, sure. And I'll probably take 5 here. Could run out Toxrill. But I think we're just happy getting the combo going. How good is Toxrill? Toxrill will just nerf everything here. But he could be holding on to a removal spell, so I think we play around it. We also want to keep land in hand too, so let's just do this. And then this way he's forced to kind of stay back. We can even start sacrificing islands to make the Serpent unblockable if we want to, but this is okay. And he can't really afford to attack, otherwise I can swing in for lethal. He has 7 mana, so he can spend 4 mana and also play a 3-drop, so he can replay the Apprentice Sharpshooter. This is fine. I'm hoping he's probably holding on to removal, but maybe we do just need to throw out the Toxrill. I guess I can even play out Toxrill and put him on a 2-turn clock by using the Biolume Serpent. Yeah, I think we might have to just do that. But so first things first, let's play out Toxrill. Let's sacrifice 2 islands, and I think we can attack for 4. And this is still a 2-turn clock, so he needs to answer not only the Serpent but Toxrill as well. And I'm fine if he gains 1 life. I guess he can play this and exploit, but then we'll just get rid of our Rot-Tide Gargantua. And then that should be good. That's fine. And if he plays our Rot-Tide, we'll sacrifice 4, and then we should win. I guess he can transform this, but that's fine. I guess he's forced to attack, and he goes up to 5, but I can block the 5/5 now. Alright, that's okay. So opponent's just trying to buy more time here. Mind Leash School isn't bad. Can run out Mind Leash School, sack the 1/1 to exile his final card, which isn't a bad idea. And then, yeah, we can take it from there. It's better than, I think, drawing a card at the very least. What was that? It was another was it Cemetery Desecrator? Ooh, Torrens, so opponent's going multicolor. So I could make this unblockable, but I don't have any more islands to sacrifice, so I think I'm fine running out the swamp, and then could attack since he doesn't have 7 toughness. I think that's okay. Force a chump. And then we still get a slug. And then we can even sack the slug to draw a card if we want to. Yeah, I can get behind that. Get the fangs. We'll just say go. If he takes out Toxrill, right, Howlpack Piper is a good one, although we have Gift of Fangs to answer it. And I guess we still kill it on at our end step. So either way, I think he's screwed. Guess we'll just thirst for discovery and keep toying with him. We don't have to do anything. Let's just run this out and attack with all. So opponents also play multiple rares. Howlpack Piper, Cemetery Desecrator, and even the Hiveheart Shaman. Pretty powerful. I wouldn't necessarily name Hiveheart Shaman as a bomb, but Howlpack Piper definitely is, along with Cemetery Desecrator. But yeah. We were able to at least find an answer to Hiveheart Shaman, and we still and a counterspell for Desecrator, so it was the right thing to do to exile exile our repository scout when he did the Mind Leech School. Like otherwise, like sure, I can maybe get back the Hero's Downfall, but that's before he if he resolves the Cemetery Desecrator, he would have taken out my Rot-Tide Gargantua anyways. So yeah, that was a pretty close one. This is a good hand. We have both of our stuff looking at. I need to turn off the my notifications. Sorry. Sorry. I was mentioning about the Kirby game, and then one of my friends mentioned Kirby, but not the Kirby character from the Nintendo or Super Smash Bros. Games, but it's Kirby from the vacuum cleaners. So I have to chuckle at that. This tutu's fine. The reason why I'm not running out the egg is because I'm not looking to I want to save the scry for at least one more turn. And there's a chance I'd rather exploit the Doom Dissenter to make it into a 4-3 next turn. So. Welcoming Vampire, that's going to be a problem. Especially against a deck like this, so maybe I need to scry for some answers. Or maybe I guess we can even thirst for discovery for some answers. So this is interesting. I could also attack, he blocks, I use Undying Malice. But again, that doesn't accomplish much. Is scrying the way to go, or is thirsting the way to go? It might just be scrying. So we can put the Exploiter on the top and we can start applying more pressure once this dies. Gift of Fangs can take out the Perish Blade Trainee. Diagraph Scavenger is quite good for the Lantern Bear, I suppose. Huh. So I guess we keep both on top. And then we'll just have to have the Welcoming Vampire outvalue us. Sure. Maybe there's a turn where I need to Undying Malice on Lantern Bear and then exile it. But then we would need an extra land. So, yeah, he's just going to draw cards off of this. Maybe I should have scried a little bit harder. But yeah, the Whelping Vampire, even though I can kill his stuff, will just outvalue us eventually, which, again, isn't a good thing. Could have a trick here for 1 mana, I'm not sure what it is. 1 blue. Attacking with all. Can't really, I guess he can do this. Right, I guess that's okay, I'm fine with the double block. I'll lose the farmer, but at least this can go away. I guess he can then put a counter somewhere. But I don't want it to keep growing. And we have a second farmer to follow up anyway, so it's fine. Could just take out the Lantern Bearer. I mean, I don't really want to because he can get this flying, but maybe it's what I have to do. It's more likely he ends up killing a creature over trying to enchant with playing out a creature since he wants to draw cards off of Vampire over enchanting the 3/4. So I think this is fine, and then hopefully he doesn't enchant here since I do want to exile the Aura. I don't know, this could just be a bad game. Yeah, he's going to enchant and I'm going to get punished here. Well, that's what I get for being an idiot. Alright, I guess we just need to dig for some stuff now to answer both of these. So I guess we can still run out the Scavenger, even though I guess I might want to exile this Aura eventually. I think we need to run out the Thirst. And then with Hero's Downfall is at least something we could play next turn. And then we can attack for 3. And then take out the 2/3, and then maybe take a bit of a beating in the air, or we can just take out the 4/5 anyways, because it's dealing so much damage. But we're also just gaining our life back anyways, so I think the right thing to do is to take out the Welcoming Vampire, I suppose. Wish I could exile it, but can't. Or maybe the 4/5. He could also have a counterspell here. He can pay X equals a decent amount. So maybe I just need to attack and then hope he doesn't have anything here. Yeah, he's holding priority, so maybe I still need a Scavenger here. And then maybe Hero's Downfall next turn, because yeah, he's keeping up his mana for a counterspell, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, he has one. So I don't want to run my removal out into it, so oh well. probably should have maybe bombed the Gift of Fangs and the Scavenger, and then maybe dig towards the removal spells. So maybe that's my blunder, and then also killing the Lantern Bearer also made it worse. So should maybe consider that next time and play a little bit smarter. Alright, at least that's not 3 power, but it's still annoying since it holds off my creatures. So he's probably going to hold on to this. And then I guess now I'll pull the plug on Grisly Ritual. I don't think I want to play around a counterspell since it's pretty important to eventually use this. And then I guess we'll fall down to 1. And then take out the 2/3 next turn and take it from there. So 1 more damage and I'm dead, so we need to take out the flyer. And then I need to find a way to gain a ton of life. That's okay, but he still draws a card. Yeah, Welcoming Vampire is such a messed up card. So I should have maybe just dig towards removal instead of trying to be cool with the whole, I guess I'm dead anyways. Alright, I messed that game up. But I have to lose sometimes. Can't win them all. Alright, let's play a little bit smarter next time and hope I don't keep a bunch of cards I don't need on top, whereas like Vampire requires an immediate answer. But you know, I mean, I also have double Thirst for Discovery in the deck, so I should have at least maybe dig towards those two. But it's hard to beat Welcoming Vampire on curve. The card can just outvalue and just win the game. So there's a lot of powerful rares in the set. And none of the uncommons or commons can come close. Like the best uncommons are like the Egg, the Dancer, the Deadly Dancer, the Alluring Suitor, and then the Fell Stinger. And you know they're good uncommons, but they're nowhere again at the same power level of some of the rares or mythics. Unlike in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, you have things like Behold the Unspeakable, Life of Toshiro, Boseiju that are close to the power level of like the rares like Inventive Iteration, Rise of Iganjo, and even like interestingly enough, what are the rares? There's a decent amount, but yeah, I think the Neon Dynasty is a format that rewards you for powerful uncommons over the rares, and this format definitely rewards you for the powerful rares over uncommons and commons. Not to say again we don't have any in the deck, but I should have at least dig closer towards removal. So that was probably my blunder. And taking out the Lantern Bearer, hoping I would exile the following turn, was a little bit of you know, a gamble too. This hand is not amazing, but we're on the draw. We're on the draw. Maybe we can hope to get our 3 drops down. I'll try it. Definitely a slow hand. And if we are kind of desperate for a land drop, we could even Thirst for Discovery instead. So I'm really hoping I can get a 3rd land drop here. Opponent misses his 3rd. Alright, I guess we'll discard. And yeah, I guess we can discard a Desperate Farmer since we're stuck at 3 and we'd rather have everything else. We can still keep up Syncopate for 1. Opponent also kept a 2-lander too. Alright, I guess we'll just lose everything then. Alright, that sucks, but it is what it is. This really sucks. I don't really want to abandon Toxrill. There's no way for me to get it back. I need my 3-drop. Stitch Assistant could probably maybe go, but this is also kind of clunky. Maybe Malice can go, but Malice is just cheap and efficient. Maybe Scott can go then. I don't know. I'm just like the opponent. I'm being greedy, and we missed another land drop, so that's rip. Alright, well, goodbye, Grisly Ritual. We just discard 3 cards here in a row. And then we finally got land drop, so now we can run out Farmer. And then we'll see if the opponent already gets his 5th land. So now, losing these removal spells in the repository scope to get it back is kind of painful. So I need to maybe drop Toxrill to try to win the game, or protect it with Undying Malice once I get enough lands. I can even Stitch Assistant itself next turn, but then I would need some Exploiters for like the rest of the other cards. So I guess we'll just keep up our instances next turn. Wizard's kind of annoying, and we need to search for red with that. So I guess I'm fine attacking still. This is only when you cast, so he does get to get the effect if it goes off. But yeah, I think we still need to keep up our instances now, since Stitch Assistant sacrificing itself doesn't really accomplish anything. It would be cool if I can, you know, use the combo of the Undying Mouse, but again, that requires 4 mana, so we'll probably get run over by birds, but maybe we can kill the birds with Toxrill once we get to enough lands, so... Scob, kind of annoying. Yeah, Scob is pretty powerful. However, he can still pay for it, so I think it resolves. He's going to exploit the Wizard, which I'm happy with if he does. It doesn't really accomplish much since that's a 3-2 and he's just going to exchange for a 2-2. But yeah, I can't pay for the counter, so it has to just resolve, unfortunately. Unleash Ghoul, kind of annoying. I guess, yeah, I don't really want this to resolve, otherwise he can make tokens with it, and either way it's going to eat a counter spell, so we might as well just trade spell for spell. Not ideal, but it's fine. And then next turn maybe I can do the trick with the Stitch Assistant. We also got a land, so yeah, let's go for it. So this is how we do it. We hold full control, cast a Stitch Assistant. Trigger on a stack, we Undying Malice on our Stitch Assistant. Yep. It's kind of a cute trick. And then we just want more lands on the top. And then we could smash for 4, which is really nice. And then we probably don't want to exploit here. Retrieval doesn't really have... I guess Retrieval can bounce the Wizard, but that's not what I needed at this stage in the game. I think I got a Vomit, and then hopefully draw more lands. That's good. And then we just need 2 more lands to drop Toxrill, and hopefully vaporize his board. We'll see. But this will hopefully make him stay back. I'm also hoping he doesn't have a ton of removal, but he probably does, knowing that this is a blue-black deck. So it's going to be a little bit hard to resolve Toxrill and then making us discard all those cards in the previous, the first couple of turns was pretty brutal, so. But now the opponent might have to stay back as he plays a Stitch Assistant, probably going to exploit itself to make a token. That's fair enough. But at least he's still kind of inclined to double block to get rid of it, to get rid of all my creatures, so it's still a card for a card. Probably keep a land if I was him. Alright, attacks, doesn't really care about taking some hits back, that's fine. Yeah, I guess I'll just attack with both and then run out Scavenger. Since I have my lands already, pretty interesting block. I guess he's just using the chump block. Maybe he has some better follow-ups, not sure. I think I'm fine running this out to get the drain in, and then maybe he'll start staying back and start trading for our stuff. And then hopefully maybe I can drop Toxrill next turn, and then Thirst for Discovery and take it from there. Because I do want to apply pressure, because by doing so, it's more likely he just ends up spending all of his removal spells. And that way, Toxrill is more likely to survive. Rot Tide, alright, gets exploit itself. Gets rid of the Whispering Wizard, so probably just want to get rid of the 2-3 Since everything lines up nicely anyways here, so this is fine. Decides to attack, interesting. I guess we just drop Toxrill and hope it survives. Not really liking this. So it needs a slime counter in order to get a 1/1 token. But I'm definitely attacking here, and then he's probably going to trade. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even really a big fan of this, so maybe I just thirst for Discovery instead. Yeah, I guess I can do that instead. As opposed to dropping Toxrill, because I don't really have any good targets. And then we'll just discard a land and then play out Doom the Center instead. And then we can still keep some lands in hand. I can even attack with the 1/1 next turn. If he blocks, I can use the Toxrill to finish it off, and if Toxrill dies, I can still draw a card off of it. Although I would need an extra land. So, yeah. I'm afraid he might just have removal, and we could have issues dealing with keeping Toxrill around. But we still we're still kind of deep in our deck, so yeah, the early discards messed us up. We had to discard all 3 of these, and I could see using the Scob at this point in the game to maybe get back like another removal spell. Wedding Security, not a card I'm too scared of. Chill the Grave isn't bad. I can chill and maybe force a chump. Although I won't be able to play out Toxrill. Yeah, maybe this is the turn to just get Toxrill down, and then we can just pass a turn and hope it survives. I mean, we didn't see him use removal, but it's probably because he didn't need to use removal, given that he could trade everything off, so I wouldn't be surprised if Toxrill goes away. But if he doesn't go away, we can make some slugs and take it from there, so we even have to chill to tap stuff down and attack. So let's just hope Toxrill doesn't get eaten by removal, which hopefully no Bleed Dry or Hero's Downfall, we'll see. Specimen, that's fine. Please no Bleed Dry. And then we can take out the Specimen end of turn with Toxrill. And we can also make more slugs. Alright, that's good. Alright, I'm down. The Skull Scob will die, but we still make a slug token. So opponent's scrying for removal. Bottoms. So yeah, he needs to get his lands down. Soul Cipher board, not a card I'm too afraid of. It's not even that good, honestly. So we can just make a million slug tokens after this turn and the next, and just draw a bunch of cards off of Toxrill. Ooh, Anje is also great. Yeah, and again, there's no sweepers I need to worry about, so yeah, we'll just run out Anje, make some blood tokens, out land for Toxrill, and then no reason to attack. Honestly, I think we're just fine just saying go. I guess I can still attack with Toxrill even if he chumps. I get to make a token, so we might as well free roll him. He gets a Soul Cipher board, but that's kind of weak anyway, so. And this is also going to remain at 1, so. I guess I can even use Anje to start sacrificing. Alright, I can use Anje to sacrifice it to prevent him. I guess I could have also sacrificed a token. But now I can just chill and we can kill him, or I can just keep activating Anje and drain him out. So yeah, we basically essentially have everything. Wow. Just the bombs in Crimson Vow are so stupid, wow. Jesus. That was so dumb. Holy crap. Alright, this opening hand, not the most amazing. If we can maybe drop the Biolumine's exploit with Mind Leech Skull, it's actually pretty good. And given that we're on the draw, I think it's okay. We can maybe risk it here, since we have a bit of early interaction with Gift of Fangs, assuming this isn't Vampires, as he plays the Blood Fountain, okay? But, doesn't mean he's Vampires. We'll see. And hopefully get some blue mana going, drop Biolumine's for some eggs, for some Scry. Second Blood Fountain, alright, so he's just gonna try to buy everything back, but it's gonna be pretty expensive for him to do so. So either way, I think we're still okay, and we'll go. Blood Fountain is fine, but it's just really slow. Black-white, so the life gain deck. Give me my blue mana, please. Unholy Efficient, I can answer with Gift. Although it's a vampire, so I guess I can't. But luckily we got a Desperate Farmer here. We can even exploit the Mind Leech Skull to itself to trigger the Desperate Farmer, but then we don't have any ways to exploit the Biolumine's, so we'll see what the opponent does. He can always just discard creatures and buy them back, but yeah, Efficient is not really that scary of a card. It's too much mana to get going, but and yeah, this doesn't answer. So Gift of Fangs can be kind of awkward in some matchups, but I think it's still important to have at least a copy, maybe. Splashing green, alright. I guess he had green mana, so he searched for it. Alright, the Hookhand Mariner is kind of annoying. I guess now we can search red mana. I could Gift of Fangs the 4/4 to shrink it. I could also Mind Leech Skull myself. I think we need to search for blue mana. Maybe we get Biolumine's and Mind Leech Skull, and then maybe Thirst for the red mana, or maybe it's still a little bit, maybe it's still something we don't want to do. I can't really pass the turn and do nothing, so I think I'm happy just using Gift of Fangs on the 4/4. And then, yeah, maybe we just say go. And then maybe we can take 2 from this. He can also attack with the Unholy Efficient if he plays a land. So I guess we'll take 3 or 4, we'll see. Doesn't attack with the Hookhand Mariner, interesting, so he probably wants to keep it around, so it, that's fine. So do I want to drop Anje, or do I want to get my blue mana? I think the responsible thing to do is, again, get our red mana, since we have all these blue sources. So we'll just do the responsible thing, and then Anje we can play next turn at the very least. And then we can still pass the turn and say go, can still take 4. And then if we're able to double spell eventually, that would be nice. I can even use the blood token to maybe loot. Opponent could also have his own removal. If it's a kill spell, this can at least transform. Blue mana would obviously be awesome off the top. If we don't get blue mana, maybe we just discard Chill. I guess I can still block the 4/2, but if he attacks, it's kind of awkward, since the 4/5 lines up nicely against it. So, alright, that's pretty good. So now what we can do is we can play land. Yeah, we'll just play Biolumine's. I guess we can even sacrifice it to Anje. But I think I like using the Mind Leech Skull to maybe get a bit of value going, and then I could use a land on top too. How about Stitch Assistant? How good is it? Don't have any exploit fodder, and it might just be underwhelming at this stage in the game. So I think it's fine maybe bombing it. And then we can draw the Mind Leech Skull. And then he's going to pump Unholy Efficient, but I don't really care. And we can even transform here too, which is kind of cool, so... What's that in his hand? Rural Recruits. Right, and I think we can just pass. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have any sweepers, like by invitation only, which would kind of suck. But now it's daytime, I can take out the efficient next turn and just attack. And we should be okay. Again, hopefully no sweepers. Could have some protection spells. Yeah, I think I just fire this off now on the efficient. And then maybe we can fly a Scob later to get rid of it. And then I can attack with both of these, although I probably want to keep this back in case I need to start sacrificing my tokens for it to drain them out. Blocking with the 4-2, don't know what this implies. He probably has a sweeper if he's doing this. Well, that kind of sucks. If he plays the by invitation only, I might be a little bit upset. But I guess he might just try to buy everything back here, but if he has a sweeper, that would kind of suck. I mean, it would really suck, because we're like so ahead now, and we kind of have to abandon our game plan almost. I'm hoping he just runs everything out and not play a sweeper in front of us. So please no by invitation only. And as I say that, he drops a by invitation only. Yeah, I saw that coming a mile away, but there's not much I can do. If he has it, he has it. So we'll have to thirst and then dig for more action. Hero's Downfall isn't the worst. So, alright, we can play out. I think we need double blue for this deck. And then we'll probably just say go, and then we can even start sacrificing the tokens in case we start getting more lands and take it from there. We do have Toxrill left in the deck. But yeah, losing out on all these playables is really kind of backbreaking, but I think I'm still maybe okay. Alright, Alchemist Retrieval. Not really what I want at this stage in the game, so I think I can safely discard it. I want some lands to discard, please, game. Yeah, sometimes you can just run away with dumb stuff like this, even though the deck looks really mediocre. I guess I can do this and exploit it, it's totally fine. And what do I want to get back? Removal or Thirst? I think we just want Thirst, so we can dig towards more action. Although I don't mind killing this eventually. I think this game is about value. I do have double Thirst though, but I still think we want to dig. And I'll decline. Don't need to shuffle. We still have some playables here that can help us win the end the game. But again, losing out on all those was pretty bad. I guess I could shuffle to put the Stitch Assistant back in our library. Maybe that was better, so I can maybe put more presence on the battlefield. He has a Scavenger, I'm assuming, because he's looking at my graveyard. Yeah, kind of sucks that all this stuff has to go. Yep. And then he can even buy back, so we need our Toxrill and hopefully our Undying Malice to prevent our Toxrill from getting answered. fine maybe trading here. But I guess he can buy everything back again, so... Alright, let's just play our Thirst. Alright, that's not too bad. I guess I'm fine with the trade, and then if he trades, then I'm fine running out the Scavenger to exile the Scavenger so he doesn't get back. Alright, that's fine. And then we'll probably keep our land in hand to discard. And yeah, we can say go. I guess I still have Necro Duality in the deck, but we don't have any more zombies outside of the Gargantua and the Stitched Assistant. Should have maybe shuffled my deck now, since I only have one more zombie left in the deck, I think. That's fine. Heron's just medium. Thirst. Alright, we'll run out the Thirst. Draw even more cards. And there's another Mind Leech Ghoul that I could run alongside the Desperate Farmer. Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah, let's just do that. Transform a Desperate Farmer. Actually, it is a zombie for Necro Duality as well, but I think this is okay. And then I guess I can attack if he double blocks. I'm fine with that. He can buy everything back, but it's still going to take a lot of mana. And this might prompt him to use a removal spell for the Depraved Harvester. We're almost out of cards, down to 11, so we kind of have to end this game quickly. Hopefully Toxrill's not like the second bottom card, otherwise I would have maybe regrets not shuffling. Alright, so first things first, let's discard a land. I'm hoping for an Undying Malice plus the Toxrill. Ooh, Toxrill's good. But without Undying Malice, I'm kind of scared. I guess I'm fine attacking with the Diregraph Scavenger, and then maybe we can tap down the Heron of Hope. Next turn. So I'm looking for Undying Malice with Toxrill. Syncopate isn't the worst. Alright, I like the Syncopate, we'll see go. Opponent can start putting counters on his Efficient, which is again fine. I guess I can play Toxrill and maybe keep up Syncopate, but again I would need more lands in order to do so, which we discarded. So it's not the easiest. So I might go for the chill on the Unholy Efficient end of turn. So then we can attack past it, maybe prompt him to scare him to using a removal spell. I think I'm fine with this. Necro Duality, so we just need like a Rot-Tide Gargantua, right? Fine if he attacks and gains life. Yeah, he's holding on to like maybe a Rebuke here. But yeah, he's holding on to a ton of cards, so I'm kind of afraid he has multiple removal spells. Doom Dissenter. I guess we just dropped the Necro Duality here. And then, do I keep a Syncopate or do I run out to the center? The center doesn't really accomplish much. It does play pretty well with the Broadtide Gargantua, but we can always set that up in a future turn. Or maybe it's fine keeping up the Syncopate for 3. Probably see the Rebuke here, or the removal spell. Won't be surprised if there's a Fierce Retribution. So maybe I should have attacked first. I guess he could have an untap trick here with a stupid I guess I can do X equals 3. I guess that's fine. It's kind of annoying, but I guess I'll make him... I'll counter it. And this might just again force him to keep staying back and use a removal spell in the 4/3. Yeah, opponent with these weird combat tricks. I don't know if I'm just playing too safe because we are losing time if we can't kill him quickly. But I do want to protect Toxrill if I can with the Malice. But yeah, again, he doesn't have to do much. So he can just pump this end of turn or just activate the Blood Fountain. Can I have an Undying Malice, please, Heron? I mean, the more he's playing this stuff out, the more I think he doesn't. Okay, there's our Malice, so now we can run out Toxrill. And then I can attack with a Scavenger, I think, over Harvester. And then I can, hopefully he doesn't have enchantment-based, I guess enchantment-based removal would be fine. And a trade here also wouldn't be bad, but I want to save this for the Toxrill. So now we can shrink his whole army, and then if he has removal, we can save Toxrill. So hopefully he tries to use the Fierce Retribution on Toxrill, and we can win that way. If he's a second by Invitation only, I can still Undying Mouse. Any exile effects would be kind of annoying, but if he has the Sigarda's Imprisonment, it still doesn't lock down abilities, and I still get a couple triggers before his whole team rots away, and I can just try to win the game with tokens. So he could have Grisly Ritual, we'll see, because he's splashing black. And I probably don't want to draw cards with Toxrill, given that yeah, I guess he's trying to get everything back just to make me deck myself, not sure. But yeah, he would have dealt with Toxrill already, so yeah, we'll just say go. So, probably find to attack with all, or just attack with these two. He'll buy everything back, but that's fine. I think we'll keep Toxrill back in case he has something. And then just attack with these two and take it from there. And I still get slug tokens anyways if they die, so you can always buy them back again, but again, it's just gonna be a waste of time because I can just nerf everything. That's interesting, so he just wants everything to go away. Alright, that's fair enough. If he has another pump trick, I guess I'm not supposed to use Undying Mouse, but yeah, this is okay. And I guess if he has another By Invitation, then I can still keep Toxrill around with the Undying Mouse. And if he tries to bring this back out with a bunch of 1/1 spirits, we can still kill them with Toxrill, so either way, it doesn't really accomplish much. And we still get some resources which can help us close out the game, so we'll probably see the Blood Fountain on Heron and maybe the Hookhand Mariner, but I think it's again just too late. Okay, sure. Yeah, I guess his game plan now is to stall us, but again, we can just keep attacking. I should maybe attack with Toxrill, but then he would have chumped anyways. So next turn I could do an all-out attack. Yeah, he could play both, but you know, they're just gonna get nerfed and we can still just attack for some chumps. That's fine. You could have a Wolf Strike, but it doesn't deal with, again, Toxrill. I mean, I don't even need to do anything, to be honest. I guess I can still attack with Toxrill and be okay. So sure, we'll just attack with Toxrill, maybe force a chump. And then yeah, hopefully next turn we can do a nice all-out attack. I could just attack all out next turn. If he has a good block on the Harvester, we still have lethal. I don't know what this does. Doesn't do anything. There's no ninjutsu in this set. So I guess he's just hoping he'll deck me, so I gotta be aggressive. That's whatever. Yeah, he's just trying to get enough chump blockers to just survive and win the game that way. So he needs to chump Toxrill into 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's dead either way. So I think we can just send all out, and then if he tries to kill Toxrill, we have Undying Malice. So let's just go. I guess Rotide is the final card, along with the 3/2. But we got swing all out here, I think. So block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this is a pretty bad deck. He's only getting away because of by invitation, but other than that, it's probably one of the worst decks I've seen so far, so whatever. I mean, you're still dead if you take out Toxrill, so... yeah. There's an argument for having our own Blood Fountain in this deck, but I still think that card isn't really very good. But maybe it's just better than the Gift of Fangs, but, you know, I'm still doing fine without it, funny enough, so... not sure if I even need it. Yeah, there could be something I can get rid of, maybe the Alchemist Retrieval, but I could use, again, some more interaction in this deck, so... not sure. What's the most mediocre card in our deck? Kind of just liking all. I mean, there's the second Desperate Farmer, but I would need creatures in the first place for the Blood Fountain. Guess second Mind Leech Ghoul or Wretched Throng. Yeah, there's some medium cards here. Maybe the card I do need to cut is Alchemist Retrieval for the Blood Fountain. But I hate the fact that it's just so slow. I think we're fine. Let's just keep playing. I'm actually happy the opponent prior to us didn't actually win. Because like just getting away with a dumb sweeper like farewell or an invitational, it's just like so stupid sometimes. Like it's like, can you play around it? No. Well then, do you win the game? No. And to be honest, the opponent also just didn't even have any removal in this deck, and he was going for some weird stall strategy with a bunch of creatures that are better left in an aggressive deck anyways, so. I guess we can play Anje on curve. I'll try it with Evolving Wilds. Do need double black for Toxrill, obviously, and Hero's Downfall, but this is fine. Notice how we're not even going up. We're barely going up our rankings, too. Could just hold on to this Mind Leech School, honestly, since playing a 2-2 out doesn't accomplish much. Especially against a Sporeback Wolf, which is going to be a 2-4 on his turn. So we're probably better off just, holding on to this, take 2, run out the Farmer, and take it from there. I guess we can keep up a Syncopate 2 for 1, that's really nice. So counter any annoying 3-drops like a Weaver Blossom. So see the Weaver here, we counter it. There we go. Asking you shall receive. It's like I can protect everything by invitation only. Weaver Blossoms. It's like I can read minds. But countering that is really huge since it won't allow him to go, like, it'll prevent him from maybe getting his third color and prevent him from ramping into something larger, so I'm happy that I have at least a copy of Syncopate in these decks. Could see a Wolf Strike, fair enough. But now he needs to deal with Anje, Maiden of Dishonor. Maid of Dishonor, not Maiden. And then we can even start discarding lands. We can hopefully top deck some more broken stuff, who knows. Probably just want to use this to get the land out of the way while we can. Cemetery Prowler is okay. I guess I can earn a removal spell, but first I think we can attack and maybe hope he double blocks to maybe blow him out. I definitely don't want this to attack, because if it does, he gets to, that's a strange attack. Does this imply Massive Might? I mean, Massive Might gets +2/+2. I'll block it. Oh, Witch's Web for 2 mana? That's strange. Why is it 2 mana? Oh, because he exiled that. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Right, so now what? Guess we can Mind Leech School and make him discard his final card. At least so we can get some value here, get rid of the Flourishing Hunter. And then this 3-2 doesn't do much, so I might just hold on to it and then just, I guess I can discard the Alchemist Retrieval since it doesn't accomplish much at this stage. Yeah, let's just discard this and hope to get something else. Scob isn't the worst. Alright, we'll take a bit of a beating, take this out, and then, yeah, we should be able to grind him out, hopefully. And I don't really care if he exiles any card from the graveyard, because I can't cast it anyway, so hopefully nothing. Just a land, that's good. Right, we'll just kill this. And then I think I'm fine running out the Stitch Assistant here, so then we can just trade damage. And then I can even attack next turn, run it back Repository Scob, get back maybe a removal spell. In case he drops something large here. Scavenger is annoying. Guess I need to keep this back for Scavenger, go to 7. But I also need a good blocker for the 2-4, so we're kind of in a weird pickle. Although Thirst is really nice here, so let's do that. And then, ooh, a lot of goodies. Yeah, this is hard. I think we have to discard maybe these two, or I guess we need to discard these two. Although, yeah, I guess Chill has to go. Unfortunately, no land, and then I could also, yeah, Necroduality without Repository Scob is awkward, and if we were to discard this, we would need more zombies. So I think this can go, and then Balume can at least block the 2/2, and then we can exploit later. V2 can trade for the 2/3. And Toxfrill's nice, plus a land to cast it eventually, so we'll do this. Can sacrifice the this to get back a removal spell in case. So I shouldn't have blocked the Sporeback Wolf. I knew something was up. But luckily this opponent's deck isn't really scary at all, so no. And then we can get back to Hero's Downfall, and then probably just downfall to Scavenger now. Or just wait end of turn. Just do it now. And then I guess we'll just stay back and then use Toxfrill to try to kill all of his stuff. So now this game now we have the advantage here. Kind of sucks that Scavenger gets to exile and then we have to kill it, but again, it's still kind of the right thing to do. And then this is just the nail in the coffin. And then we'll just pass the turn and do nothing. And then we can still block, get some tokens, but yeah, he would need like a good removal for Toxfrill Scavenger, so he has a second one, sure. He can still maybe drain us out. We still get some nice stuff we can sack, can trade both of these next turn. For the 2/3, I don't mind. Yep. Hopefully he doesn't Wolf Strike with the Death Toucher, that would kind of suck. Alright, I can even use this. Yeah, I could also do that. Where I could do nothing. Just hold on to this for the hell of it. I guess I can start stacking some tokens. Getting some value. Mind Leech School? Yeah, I guess I can even throw in a Mind Leech School for the hell of it. And got rid of a Bramble Worm, wow. And yeah, we don't even have to do anything, just pass. I don't need to stack anything. Just sit back, grind the opponent out, and then get more slugs, draw more cards, yeah. I should have known that the the Cemetery Prowler exiled the yeah, it exiled the single pay, which was an instant, and I forgot about the Witch's Web, even though that was in our previous matchup. I thought he had a massive might, and he only had 1 mana available, so bit of a blunder by me, but it was definitely a strange attack, and maybe I maybe thought it was maybe a misplay on his behalf, but well, we'll just keep playing. Definitely shouldn't have blocked. Maybe waited until he attacked, and then I could punish him with Hero's Downfall. So final boss shouldn't be too difficult. Most people in quick draft aren't necessarily the most skilled or the biggest, or nor are they the most dedicated when it comes to a limited set. So funny enough, best out of 3 also kind of has almost a similar difficulty. I think it's because there might be like a wider range of players, so the skill cap could vary. Whereas like in again Premier Draft, you're kind of paired up with your ranking. And traditional draft also goes pretty quickly, believe it or not, so it's possible for us to squeeze maybe 2 traditional drafts after this. Alright, well, we have our 3 colors, just need to curve an Anje, so we'll try. Black-white, so the life gain deck. With Twin Blade Geist as a start, okay, so we can maybe take a bit of a beating. But yeah, hopefully Biolume can help us block next turn, or we might just have to take a little bit more damage, because I don't really want to lose this. Especially gives us a pretty fine body to maybe block. So he can free roll us. Mind Leash School isn't the worst, although we do have Exploiters already. So maybe we bought them both. Like next turn I can route Mind Leash School, but I have nothing else to follow up with. So we're probably better off with Stitch Assistant instead. But if I Stitch Assistant next turn, yeah, I only have 1 mana to keep up, and then I can't really double spell, so I think we can bottom both. It's totally fine. And then say go, and then which one do I block? I don't really want to take 4, but this is just a complete free roll. But if I lose the egg, that would kind of suck. Next turn, I'm maybe playing to Stitch Assistant this to get a 4/4. But he has a Bleed Dry anyway, so never mind. So I guess that solves the issue. Alright. Opponent respecting the egg, and hopefully he doesn't have another removal, because Anje can block pretty well here. Rot-Tide, that's kind of annoying, but at least I can exile the token here. I mean, the double strike thing, so he doesn't get to run us over with it. And do I play out lands? Yeah, I do, so I can double spell. Mind Leash School and Desperate Farmer could be a cute combo next turn if he almost empties his hand, so we'll see. This can even hold off the 5/4 in trade. Heron, that's a pretty good one too. So I don't want to discard anything, since everything's just too good here. I guess I'll trade. There's no 1-mana trick I need to be scared of, I don't think. We can make a 4/3 next turn. So, could also play 2 3-drops. Maybe I just exploit my own Stitch Assistant, since he has 2 cards left in his hand, and then grow a 4/3. We also just need 6th and 7th land for Toxrill anyway, so I think I'm fine with this. And I'd rather have, 4/3 than a 3/2 and a 2/2, I think. Bottom any lands. And Gift of Fangs can maybe nerf the Heron a bit. We can even attack with a 4/3 if we want to. Doesn't activate it, so he might have a follow-up. Twin Blade Geist. Probably don't want that in the graveyard. And a kindly answer, so this could be a good turn to Mind Leech School. But I think first things first, we can maybe get rid of our Gift of Fangs. I mean our land. Then we can run out the Mind Leech School. Yeah, get rid of our own Mind Leech School. And then I guess I'll Gift the Fangs on the 2/3. So then I don't have to take all this damage in the air, and then we can just stay back. And yes, they go. No instances for me to get back with this, so just kind of hope to start top decking some stuff, maybe. He could also just attack here and then eventually put it onto the Kindly Ancestor. Opponent just passes. Alright, Thirst for Discovery was a really nice top deck, and we might as well use red mana since we don't have any more red spells. Toxrill's great, so discard land. Run out the Doom Dissenter. And then we can maybe drop a Toxrill, just kill everything next turn, we'll see. I guess we need an extra land for Toxrill, so never mind. But I still think it's correct discarding a land, given that we can flood out, and we're bound to get one eventually. So we can even exploit and get back Thirst. And then he also doesn't have any blood tokens for the Ragged Recluse, so we can just devour his entire board if we get a land next turn and he doesn't have anything. And it's hard to imagine he has removal with double white and a single black. He would need like an extra land for a Fierce Retribution or double black for Hero's Downfall or Bleed Dry. But again, he already used it, so land is good. So yeah, it's probably just game over here. Let's just drop the Toxrill, and yeah, he has won us pretty much almost every game in this. Yep, and then you can just see the opponent scoop up. Alright, so not a bad 6-1 quick draft. But yeah, Toxrill is Toxrill, Hullbreaker Horror, what else? Dreadfeast Demon, Olivia's Attendance, Wedding Invitation, Wedding Announcement, I mean, by invitation only, the Faithbearer Judge. I can go on and on. Halana Elena Partners. There's just the power levels of, again, the rares and mythics in this set just totally outscale the commons and the uncommons. So, again, a very controversial format. So it's not everyone's favorite, and I can definitely see the reasoning for it. But either way, it's still if you're facing against, again, you'll always face against bombs all the time, and in those matchups where you don't face against bombs, they can be pretty fun. But yeah, so just an overview of the deck. Just yeah, blue black, not the most synergistic, but it has a decent amount of synergy with it. The deck could have used maybe some more exploit creatures for sure, since we don't have a ton outside of maybe like Wretched Throng, Doom the Center, and the Biolume Egg. We have our top end covered. Could have used maybe, yeah, definitely more exploit fodder, maybe some better removal, since Gift of Fangs is not always the most optimal. Alchemist Retrieval could have been like a Lunar Rejection. Maybe a little bit more exploiters, more zombies. But otherwise, other than that, I'm quite happy with the results, and we managed to even cast Anje on times in some of the matchups, and she did a good number, just holding off the opponent's threats. We barely used her ability to sacrifice any tokens, since you know, she mostly just ended up getting answered or the opponent scooped before we did anything. But it was still just a 4-mana 4/5 is an excellent body in and of itself. So yeah, it's not the most impressive blue-black deck, but just still very good. You know, can't deny Toxrill, some bombs, a decent amount of exploiters, some solid removal. The only thing that was lacking was maybe a bleed dry or so, but still managed to get there. So not bad. And then we're probably just gonna move on to traditional draft here as we claim our prize. And then yeah, I'll be back. We'll just queue up a traditional draft, and I've also been having a lot of success doing traditional drafts, so yeah, let's get this show on the road. Alright, that took like 5 minutes. So this is what I mean when the queues are very long, but the skill cap isn't as high as Premier Draft, so yeah. Had to get some coffee, had to put the mic on mute, but I'm ready to do some best out of 3, so sideboard matters. And I think hate drafting does matter a bit too, given how long the pods kind of take to queue up. There's a chance, I guess there's a higher chance if there's less people in the queues to face against the same person in the same pod. Yeah, since it takes again a long time, you're most like there's a likelihood of actually facing against the people that you're drafting with. So I think hate drafts can matter. So we kind of had to just draft the most optimally as we can. Come on, hit the rave. I know. So we have to wait again. So probably put myself on mute again. Right, I guess they woke up. Alright, there we go. Pack 1, pick 1. Traditional draft Neon Dynasty. This is best out of 3. What do we have to find pleasure of opening today? Soul Transfer is excellent. Usually I don't like removal in this set, but when your removal spell can bring back a creature, potentially, then that's really powerful. And yeah, again, removal isn't great in this set because of all the sagas and card advantage going on, and good enter the battlefield effects. But still going to be my first pick because I think black is just the best color in this set, and just keeps us the most flexible. The best uncommon here is probably between Kumano Faces Kakazan and Stealthless Samurai, depending on your color preference. I think I'm leaning more towards the heavy aggressive red decks more than the white controlling decks, since white wants to just pair with green and nothing else, kind of, and red can go mono red or red black. Glidebot could also be reasonable, but it's less powerful than I think both of these. And at common, Voltage Surge can maybe wheel if you take the Kumano. But I think I'll just take a Soul Transfer. It's powerful and it's very flexible, so we'll take it here. After first picking Soul Transfer, we can move into Ninjas with potentially a Prosperous Thief. And I do prefer to be blue-black Ninjas over red-black, since the statistics show that the blue-black decks have a higher win rate than red-black. Even though I think red-black is, still close. So it's between like Prosperous Thief and Kami's Flare. Suit Up is also the best performing blue common so far, according to the data, but I still think you should take the Ninjas and the Enablers first over the Suit Up, and hopefully hope this kind of wheels, or we can get this in the future. But definitely a card you shouldn't sleep on as well. And then, there's the rest of these are just kind of replacements. Like maybe this would be my 4th pick, but it's nowhere near Kami's Flare or Prosperous Thief. Invoke Calamity also is not a rare you want to play, since it's kind of clunky, hard to cast, and you don't end up with too many instances or sorceries in this format. So I think I'll take the Prosperous Thief over Kami's Flare in hopes the Ninjas deck is open, since I do prefer it. And now there's no Ninjas, but there's a Seismic Wave, which is a fine removal spell. There's an argument that it's actually just worse than Kami's Flare, since it's essentially just 3 mana deal 3 kind of, but the upside of it can be kind of useful, especially if you have you're facing against a lot of 1 toughness enchantments or non-artifacts, obviously. And then at common, Tails and Bamboo Grove Archer, the green commons are, they're all pretty good, decent, but they're kind of all similar in terms of power level, so it's kind of like which one do you want in your curve. So yeah, maybe red is open. We'll take a Seismic Wave. Also, the shrines are okay, but not really a big fan of it. And this one, obviously, if you get 1 or more shrine out and you can activate them over and over, it can be a powerful way to kind of close out the game, and generate and then eventually just win. But I still think it's kind of slow, and you can get heavily punished if it gets bounced or removed, and you invested so many counters onto it. So I'll take a Seismic Wave instead. As we open up this pack, which doesn't have much. There's Norika. I do like Norika only in green-white, which is at its best. There's a Sorry Captain, but red-white is not a deck that's too good in this format. I think the card that actually makes the most sense, assuming if we end up red-black, would be the Iron Apprentice. It's a cheap way to enable Modify. If you pick up some sack outlets, it can make it very difficult difficult for combat to happen because there's always a looming threat that you can place a 1/1 counter somewhere. And then we just took a Seismic Wave, and all the cheap colorless artifacts in the set are kind of just mono red cards anyways. Like they all just want to end up in the red deck. So I'll take on Iron Apprentice over a potential Norika because we're nowhere near green whites at this stage. So we'll see. As we open up this pack, there's Tawashi Songshaper and Kami of Terrible Secrets. Kami would maybe keep me more flexible in case I end up blue-black or red-black, but I think it's definitely weaker than the Tawashi Songshaper. I do like this card, and it is a bit of a sleeper, but with what we're getting past, I think maybe red-black is open, and it's maybe a good time to just take it here, since I think the power level of this is higher than Kami in a straight-up red-black deck. Like, if we end up red-black, I'm not even sure if we will play the Kami of Terrible Secrets, since you don't want too many 4-drops, and it's sometimes a little bit awkward if you can't enable it. So, I'll take the Tawashi Songshaper here. And I do like red-black. Lethal Exploit is also okay, it keeps us open, but I think it's maybe just a second Iron Apprentice, since red does seem kind of open. Again, it keeps us open, but there's no real reason for us to be maybe in blue-black, since I'm not seeing any of the powerful blue ninjas. Maybe black-green is open, but at this stage, I'm liking red-black more than red-green. And I think black pairs better with the aggressive colors, so... You know what, we'll take another Iron Apprentice and just kind of go on with this whole artifact theme as we get past another Tawashi Songshaper, so great. I think we have a plan. Kunai also wouldn't be the worst, but can be a little bit awkward in aggressive decks since you kind of have to use... a creature, since you're always usually trying to attack with your creatures and then having to use your creature to tap itself to deal 3 damage is kind of awkward. So I'll take a Songshaper, and we'll just do this all-in artifacts deck. Nothing else here. Ink Rise Infiltrator is playable, better in blue-black, but we can still play it in black-red if we need some sort of filler 2-drop. So we'll take this, and then late Voltage Surge, pick 9. Definitely gonna take it over 3rd Iron Apprentice. And yeah, Iron Apprentice is, again, great with sacrifice outlets, especially with Voltage Surge. And I think this might actually just be better than Kami's Flare, to be honest, since the 1 red, having access to 1 red could make a difference, and then this can potentially deal more than the Kami's Flare, and then there's some pretty decent stuff to sack, like Iron Apprentice, again, in the black-red deck, so we'll take Voltage Surge. And then, yeah, there's also another Iron Apprentice, but not going to take it over a removal spell. And then a Suit Up shouldn't be late in this pack, so I'll take it here. I don't really believe in the red-green modified deck. It's just not very good. And then Kaito's Pursuit is also playable in blue-black, but you'd rather have the Suit Up anyways. And then Mech Hanger is kind of a weird, strange build around since the vehicles at common aren't very good. So we'll take a Suit Up that's still somehow in this pack. And then if we do pick up multiple Kiba Reckoner Raids, the Brute Suit can be quite powerful. The Chainflaw, I guess, could be kind of cute with the cheap Iron Apprentices. Either way, they're both interchangeable. Given that we don't have a Kiba Reckoner Raid, I'll take a Chainflaw Centipede. We might not play it, since it's really not that exciting of a artifact creature, but we'll still take it. And then, yeah, not even a big fan of any of these. Take a Pursuit. And then, Shower State's Arrow could always be main deckable, but again, you usually want to keep yourself at 16 or 15 lands in these decks, but sometimes you do just end up in the mid-range deck if all your cheap stuff gets taken, so there's a chance you end up playing this, same with like cards like Gift of Wrath. So yeah, red does seem pretty open. Not sure about red-black. Black could be a little bit kind of cut off, but there's always an option to move into mono-red since that's a good archetype to be in. This pack is interesting. I do like March of Wretched Sorrow, but it's a bit of a mana investment, and sometimes just having to invest a ton of mana into this is not what you want to do, especially in a low curve deck. The life gain is quite decent too, but I don't think it's that great in low curve red aggressive decks, so I can see passing this up. Long Reach of Night is a pretty powerful enchantment, but it's also just better in a grindier black deck anyways. So the comment I'm looking at here is probably just take Voltage Surge, since we're not even guaranteed to be red-black, since black seemed a little bit dry in the first pack, and then we could just end up in some sort of mono-red deck. If this was pack 1, pick 1, it would be between March and the Long Reach of Night, but given our takes, I think we just take a Voltage Surge here and not waste too much time, since, again, the 4-drop is awkward and the mana investment is awkward. So I think we're just better off taking Surge and just take it from there. Yeah, it's kind of interesting when you're drafting the red decks. You kind of have to pass up on these powerful uncommons, and now we're seeing a Kappa Tech Wrecker. I still think we take the Voltage Surge here and then start picking up more cheap artifacts. Other than that, yeah, there's other good commons here, Intercessor's Arrest and Suit Up, but again, we're just kind of doing this all in thin given how open it was. And then I might actually take Iron Apprentice over Leech Gauntlet. Leech Gauntlet is medium, but I think the Iron Apprentice is just more useful, especially with triple Voltage Surge. Gonna take it here over everything else. Best common in this pack, probably just Suit Up. So we're not missing out on much. And then now I can maybe take my Kami. Seeing a pick 4 Moon Circuit Hacker, but didn't see any amazing blue in the previous pack. But I don't mind a Kami. And hopefully we can find more enchantments to go along with it. Maybe the Kumail Faces Kakazans would be fine. But we'll take it. And yeah, we'll keep a Reckoner Raid. Definitely better than Bronze Plate 4. I don't think Bronze Plate 4 is good at all. Sure, it's an artifact. Sure, it can eventually reconfigure, but it's too expensive, and it does trade down with its 2 toughness. It's not that impactful. Whereas Reckoner Raid on turn 1 is always really powerful. Gets a good, difficult creature to block, and just the best common in the set. So not going to argue against that. And then we'll probably just take a Simian Sling for more 1/1 artifacts over everything else. And then to just take another Voltage Surge over like a Runaway Trash Bot, which I don't think is very good. So yeah, red does seem open, but we do need our sack outlets. So I'm hoping we can find, like, I don't know, some Oni-Cold Anvils or Sokens and Smelters. So I'm hoping we can get lucky in the next pack and we can send a clear signal, because we're sending a signal that we're supposed to be the red drafter anyways at this pod. But at the same time, our power level could increase a little bit more. Didn't see any Song Shapers in this pack as well. Our removal is good and covered, but we need some better threats to help round out the deck. And then, yeah, hopefully we can get more enchantments to enable the Soul Transfer to get back a creature as well. Again, there's Clawing Torment, but again, with all this removal, I think we're happy with Simian Sling instead. And then, if we need a random 4-drop, Scrapyard Steelbreaker isn't the worst. Because again, we're kind of lacking that power. The Chain Flail Centipede also looks pretty decent in this deck, given that there's these 1-drops. Explosive Entry versus Lethal Exploit. Probably could benefit from an Explosive Entry in the sideboard. Also seeing late suit-ups, which, again, are best in the Blue Ninjas deck, but we didn't see, again, too many good ninjas. We saw 1 Moon Circuit Hacker in our pack 1 pick 1. I mean, not Moon Circuit Hacker, 1 Moon Snare Specialist, and then 1 Moon Circuit Hacker, and then that's pretty much it. So I really think we should just be in red as opposed to blue. And then, yeah, hopefully we get some better 2-drops, some more Song Shapers. The Anvils would be nice, the Sokens and Smelter, because we have a nice setup for it, but I'm afraid we might lack the power if we don't get all the goodies. I keep drafting this dumb deck, but it's always open, so I can't really say much. Even Bronze Plate 4, I guess I might play it if I need some more artifacts. Maybe we just don't need Seismic Wave in this deck anymore, so put it in a sideboard for now. There's also an argument for cutting the Soul Transfer because it's not easy to cast, and we might not even have enough enchantments to enable it. So yeah, we just need more threats, less removal, and we should be fine. But the second pack was not necessarily that impressive. Wheeling the Bronze Blade floor does mean something. Alright, Life of Toshiro versus Experimental Synthesizer is kind of rough. I think it's still Life of Toshiro. Not only is it a removal spell, but it's also a creature you can get back, you can get eventually, and it's one of the best uncommons in the sets. And yeah, this is like number 3 behind like Kappa Tech Wrecker and like Blossom Prancer. It's at the same power level of most of the rares, so I can't deny that. And then hopefully we can wield the Synthesizer, assuming there's no other red drafter at the table trying to do our thing. But yeah, Life of Toshiro is a mythic uncommon, so can't deny that. And Kumala faces Kakazan. Yeah, definitely going to take it over Restoration and Experimental Synthesizer. This is also just the best red uncommon in the set. This is the best red common. This is the best red uncommon. Yeah, we're passing up Restoration, which is quite good, and Generous Visitor, and even Silver Master. But yeah, let's do our thing. Ukami's Flare. I did state we need more threats, but Blade Blesser is alright. I don't really think it's that amazing. So I guess we just take Kami's Flare. I mean, at least if we can get some modified going, we can deal damage to the face. And I can see myself cutting the Soul Transfer now, since you know, there's not a ton of stuff we're really interested in getting back, and we don't really have that many enchantments. We have some, and the double black is also difficult. So at least pinging them for 2 in the face with Kami's Flare could be useful. And I guess I'll just take a Kami of Terrible Secrets here over everything else. Don't need another Seismic Wave. Don't need more removal. So now I'll take this, and maybe this is just better than, whatchamacallit, the Soul Transfer in this deck. Yeah, this is just whatever. Take another Voltage Surge. Yeah, we need some premium threats. What's going on? I guess someone else is just cutting us off. I might have to just run, I don't know, Inkrise Infiltrator, or even like a Chainflaw Centipede just to have some more threats. Because we're kind of we have a lot of ones, but again, we don't have any like heavy hitters, and now this pack is just nothing else we care about. We don't care about anything else. More Song Shapers would be awesome, and yeah, we keep getting past stuff like this, but I still think it's Kami's Flare, and now maybe I can ditch the Voltage Surge, just because I think if we're lacking some threats, we need some ways to kind of deal damage to its face with these Iron Apprentices. So let's go for this, and then take it from there. Another Iron Apprentice could be fine. Again, not too many sack outlets, so it can be awkward, but okay, a Bronze Plate Boar isn't the worst either, and definitely improvement over, like, I don't know, the random Chainflaw, but the Chainflaw also plays really nicely with the Iron Apprentices, so I don't hate it. And then we can even run 16 lands if we want to. Guess we can draw in the Inkrise Infiltrator or something else, or even the Voltage Surge. With all these 1-drops, I think we want to run 16 lands. Again, we have a decent amount of enchantments and artifacts as well. Ooh, Synthesizer. Right, we'll just run 16 lands with Synthesizer, even wheeled, so we are in the right lane. Generous Visitor. I guess green was also slightly open, but the problem again with red-green is that red and green are trying to do opposite things in the set. Green is trying to be a control deck that's looking to outvalue and grind, and cares more about enchantments than anything else. And then red is trying to be aggressive, is not trying to grind. It's trying to win the game quickly, and it cares more about artifacts than enchantments. So they're definitely at a huge dichotomy, and that's why I don't like red-white or red-green, because they're different philosophies. And sadly enough, even though blue is the second color that cares more about artifacts, the blue common artifacts just aren't very good. Not saying you can't do blue-red, because I've done it way before, but unless you really open up some powerful rares, it's really hard to make happen. Since again, the blue commons are there's the Moon Circuit Hacker had to somehow just be an enchantment creature. Specialist is not any of those, and only Network Disruptor cares about artifacts. So, yeah, I think this is the deck. Actually, I need to look at the removal. Sort everything by curve. I'm liking all these ones. Yeah, I don't think we need a million removal spells. We should be fine. The Shire States era, I could see myself cutting. But it does give us a nice creature, and we, again, have a ton of removal already. What cards can we consider from the sideboard? Skiff of Wrath could be fine, but it's kind of awkward if, they have an enchantment-based removal. The double Kami might not trigger often, so we might need another enchantment. But, again, I'm not going to throw in Gift of Wrath for Kami. And if I'm to throw in Gift of Wrath, I might have to cut this Shattered States era. Seismic Wave is just worse than these, I think. There's Explosive Entry, which is fine, but so conditional. I guess there's a Voltage Surge we could consider, but We already have 2 of them already, and we don't want to again stack our deck with so much removal. We don't have enough creatures to close out. Soul Transfer, hard to cast, and hard to enable. And I guess there's the Inkrise Infiltrator we should maybe consider here, but I think we're fine. We can just try to run them over and take it from there, even though there's no sack outlets, and then could just cut a swamp. Maybe go 10-6 since we're so heavy red, and then hopefully eventually get our swamp. Or we can maybe just take it easy and go 9-7. Maybe that's just better, since if we get some black spells in our opening hand and we can never cast them, that's going to become a problem. So sure, 9-7 is even split. We also don't have a ton of double red, so we should be okay. And then yeah, the reconfigure doesn't take any double red, so 1 red is fine. And then yeah, we'll give this a shot. And yeah, we'll just try it out. I guess we have Scrapyard Steelbreaker as a sack outlet, so we have an okay amount with the removal and Scrapyard, so hopefully we can cash those in eventually, the Iron Apprentices in eventually. But I think we read that we were in the right lane, but yeah, and we saw a couple of green cards, but you know, it's still correct, I think, going either mono red or black red in this format. Alright then, opening hand. We're on the draw, I have to assume. Alright, well, we have Okiba Reckoner Raid and some Iron Apprentices. It's not the worst, and we're on the draw, so we'll try it. We have 9 mountains in the deck. This is not the end of the world if we don't draw it on like turn 3. And we just gotta get lucky. Alright, I would love the Kumano, but it is what it is, so let's run this out. Next turn, probably just double Iron Apprentice and take it from there. Although I would love the red mana to enhance our Song Shaper, and we do get red mana, so asking you shall receive. So probably just run out the Song Shaper, although this can block the Song Shaper next turn. So there's always the argument of just running out Kumano, making this into a 3-3 next turn instead. And then maybe run out the Iron Apprentice instead. Yeah, I think I like that, because if we run this out, we probably can't even attack into this, and he's probably going to keep this back. So let's run out the Kumano, and let's just run out Apprentice. Next turn we can Song Shaper, and then take it from there. I'm fine not blocking. There could be a 3-2 Ninja that can give him 3 life. That's fine. Yep. At least he doesn't get the draw card off of it. That can still block my Song Shaper. So that's kind of annoying. Life of Tashiro can take this out next turn. So instead, I might want to just play out maybe the Iron Apprentice to make it into a 2-2. And then run out the Song Shaper instead. I can also Life of Tashiro to pump this into 3 power. But I'm actually liking the Iron Apprentice, getting the 2 tokens so we can even trade for the 3-2. And then enhance maybe the Nezumi Prowler or Tawashi Song Shaper. So let's attack like this and then say go. The next turn we can maybe consider some options. Black-white usually doesn't have a theme. It's kind of just a mix of white and black cards. It's kind of like a value grind deck with Kami of Terrible Secrets, but it's also just not that good. Because, whatchamacallit, the green decks are just a lot better. I think I'm fine using life. He does draw a card, but at least I get to do something here. And then, yeah, I guess I'm fine sending in the team, except the Iron Apprentice here. Could also run this out to pump the Song Shaper, but I guess this is okay. Probably trades for the Song Shaper, which I'm fine with. But I guess there's a argument for not running out the Simian Sling, because there's a likelihood he doesn't block it. So we'll run out the Simian Sling and hope he doesn't have the sweeper. Farewell. But it's not something you can necessarily play around, so let's just pump our Iron Apprentice, I think. And then, do I need to reconfigure here? Not really. Let's just smash. And then, do I run out lands? In case of Virus Spew, I should, but it's not a big deal. I guess I might as well reconfigure the Simian Sling. And then hope he doesn't have Farewell. And so go. So Farewell is the only thing that saves his butt here. Just like the buy invitation only in our Crimson Vow draft. It kind of sucks when they have it, but we'll see. You can see a Banishing Slash. Yep, and just see a concession. Alright, our deck was just too fast. And that's how you do black-red. I mean, we did it for a traditional draft last time, but it's always open for some reason. Alright, I think I like this keep, and we even drew our red mana in time that last game. So, we'll keep it like this. Give me a 1-mana Saga, please. Is there a 1-mana Saga in my opening hand? He's probably going to play first again because we're aggressive and he needs to develop the board first. So give me a 1-mana Saga. Kumano, Okiba. I'd be happy with any one of those. Come on. Well, this is like the worst hand imaginable, so I guess we'll just have to shuffle our hand back. Yeah, it's too risky keeping this, like we're on a draw, but it's the likelihood if we even draw one single land off of this, we're gonna just stumble, so let's mull. And this hand is also not great, but I think we gotta keep it. And then what do we bottom here? Prize Scrapyard. Is there a chance I play out the Centipede? Centipede's still good with Iron Apprentice, so I don't think I need a sack outlet. We just need to bomb the most expensive card and just take it from there. So, Kumano, right? Kumano into Iron Apprentice is great. And then definitely want to play this first over the Simian Sling because, alright, so it's not just green and black. Opponent decides maybe to change his deck up a bit. So sure, this is fine. And then probably not going to Voltage Surge here since I need to set up. It's better off to do Voltage Surge next turn. So then we can sack the Iron Apprentice, kill the Bamboo Grove Archer, and then move my counter somewhere and attack. But we'll see. There's a Barrow Memory. I mean, it's also not bad against the Bear. I guess we can double Voltage Surge instead. Yeah, I can buy that. And then, yeah, we want to sacrifice the Iron Apprentice. And then we probably want to enhance our Kumano. Since the Simian Sling can reconfigure, and then having counters on this is kind of awkward, so we can smash in for 5. Yeah, running off of 2 lands and we're still able to do so much. And then if he plays a large creature, then we can still reconfigure and attack for 5. Kami's okay. I guess I could just reconfigure anyways and hit for 5. Or I can Simian Sling, but This is more mana efficient. Like, I could develop the Simian Sling, of course, but I just want to do this. He could run out another creature this turn. That decides to attack. Interesting, so he's a good follow-up. Doesn't have a follow-up. Okay, so first things first, I guess we move to combat. And attack, and see what he has here. Because that's a pretty strange attack. He would have like a March of Wretched Sorrow, but that's only 4, so he would have to exile something. Okay, so he has that, fair enough. I'll take that. Let's run the Synthesizer out. Get our mana going. Land isn't bad, right? Play lands. Play Simian Sling, say go. Hopefully no expensive card. Preserve Naturalist is okay. I can always reconfigure and try to block it. Bearer can be kind of annoying since he can start loading up counters. If I activate the Simian Sling, the Synthesizer, the problem is I would need to get a land off the top, and if I lose a removal spell, that's kind of awkward. So I think maybe the play is here is just play out the Iron Apprentice and then just maybe reconfigure onto it. And then maybe next turn we activate it. Because I don't want to like top deck a removal spell and not be able to answer it, so yeah, this can be kind of awkward. I guess I would have to double block the Bearer of Memory here. I mean, that would actually kind of suck. Maybe I don't block at all. I guess I just have to activate now since I'm not doing much and hopefully get a black source. Please no removal, because I do want to get rid of this Bearer. Right, that sucks, right? So this is kind of the problem of running 16 lands. As you can see, and now he can just enhance his Bearer. I mean, at least this means that I can maybe dig closer towards a land. But we're still kind of in a bad spot. Kami's Flare, alright. If I try to Kami's Flare Jukai Naturalist, that's not going to work, so I think we just got to use it on the 3-2 before he starts loading up counters everywhere. And then we can still like double block this if we want to, so it's not bad. It's not great either, but we'll see go. Generous Visitor would have been insane if he played it earlier. So the opponent's deck is actually a lot stronger than we expected. Like the Tashira would have also been great. Yeah, I guess we can maybe move the Simian Sling onto, I don't know, to the token, or maybe just start moving it into the, yeah, I guess we'll move it into the token so it can maybe block better, and we'll see go. This black mana would, to answer Generous Visitor, would have been great, but he's just going to load up on life gain here, and then he can even attack and 3-for-1 us here. So, yeah, well, I guess we just need to deal with this and we should be fine, assuming we get black mana going. But I do want to take out the Generous Visitor ASAP. Just another Iron Apprentice, so yeah, not looking good here. Not sure if this is even correct. Another Spirited Companion, so yeah, this game is about over. A 6/6 lifelink. And a Greater Tanuki. He's probably going to seal the game. Alright, I think we lost this. Yeah, I'm not going to fight over a Greater Tanuki here. Just missed too many land drops. If we had a single black source, maybe we would have dealt with this, but we also had the mulligan too. So that was kind of rough, but it is what it is. 16. It's funny because sometimes when I go 16 lands, I end up flooding more than I'm getting screwed, but it is just this weird variance that happens. So we'll just keep playing. And we'll choose to be on play and hope for some sagas in our opening hand. Alright, not bad one. Kumano into Iron Apprentice isn't the worst, but we do need to hit some lands. I'll have to try it since we're on the play. Can't really say no to it. Top decking another 1-drop wouldn't be the worst, or even land. Okay, another Iron Apprentice, not bad. So sure. Was the opponent? I guess the opponent was missing green in the last pack. I guess I can now life with Tashiro and mess him up here. That's really sweet. A really nice top deck too, and hopefully we can get some lands going. So. So we probably just want to pump the Iron Apprentice here. Or the 2-2, although if we pump the 2-2 then this can't attack. So I think we're fine with this. Trade Kumano for the 3-3 or just move the counters around. But yeah, I've gone up to 4 lands with 16 lands, so come on, what the hell's going on, game? Why are you like this to me? Yeah, he probably wants a trader, so he doesn't end up exiling. If he trades here, then I can just move the counter around. So yeah, opponent goes for this block, which I think is correct, because this will shrink anyways. We can maybe still attack next turn, he blocks, and then we can move a counter after one of these die. Because I still think the game plan might just be aggressive as much as possible. Which is obvious, yeah, which is obviously the game plan. Alright, Naturalist is kind of annoying. Can I have a land, please? Vulture Surge was pretty good off the top. Do I sacrifice an Iron Apprentice here? I don't think so. Not punished. I think the opponent thinks we're running 15 lands, but rarely does he know we actually are just missing land drops. Please no second creature. Commune is fine. Maybe to hit a land. Into another Spirited Companion. Yep. And then we're fine just attacking a fall, and then we can just move the counters after these Apprentice dies. Wow, not even a single land still. Right, move for some blocks. I guess this is when it leaves the battlefield, right? It has to die. I guess we just put one counter on each. And then he would need to double spell here to keep one around. Searchlight, alright, so he can chump. Hopefully no march. There's our land, thank God. So let's move to combat and attack. Probably see some chumps here. Could have maybe played a bronze plate board first, but nope. Let's run this out. So opponent probably has a removal spell or I guess season to buy some stuff back. But then we can still attack past some stuff and do some good work. I think I'm fine running out Kami if I get a land, so I can draw a card even though I could potentially reconfigure. No, it's 5 mana to reconfigure. Never mind. Kami, alright, that's kind of annoying. I guess we have Simian Sling to reconfigure now in attack, so that's not bad. Do I really want to reconfigure on board? Probably not. Probably reconfigure onto the Iron Apprentice. This will maybe force a double block and we can still ping and move the counters around after this, so that's pretty good. So we definitely want to take out the Kami, deal 1 damage to his face, and then we can also just move the counters onto the Bronze Plate Boar. So we can maybe trample over for the win next turn. Yeah, let's just do this. And another Jukai Naturalist, sure. And we finally get our land for Kami of Terrible Secrets. And then, do we just attack with a 6/5? I guess we do. Doesn't matter, I don't think. We also controlled Modified, so we can still deal 2 to his face, but we'll see. Could even drop a second Kami. That's kind of whatever. I guess he's just playing that just to block, so he's probably dead here because I can just Kami's Flare. And then attack, he can chump one and he's just dead, so easy game. And yeah, we got it. Sweet. Red-black doing it again. It's kind of crazy how our deck can just function off of like 2 lands. And yeah, the Iron Apprentices did a lot of work that game, being able to redistribute counters onto the Bronze Plate Boar. So that's really awesome. Alright, first opponent down. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, well, this is an awkward hand, but we could, if we get a single land, we could be okay. I mean, not really a big fan of one-landers. I guess we need our red source, so maybe it's still a mull. Alright, this is a little bit better. I think we might have to just bottom a land and risk it here, because, again, we're on the draw. So, I'll bottom a land. Since I don't really want to discard any of these, I could, like, there's an argument for discarding a Kami, but if I flood, it gets bad. I guess we need to take out Goro Goro. Could use a Kami's Flare. Could also attack, and if he blocks, I can use life to finish it off. Even though I don't get value, maybe I do this first. Doesn't block, right? Makes sense. Let's just run out the Vulture Surge here then. Even though this could deal 4 to potentially green deck, I still think we try this. Jukai Trainee, yeah, that's going to be hard to life. So we'll just Kami's Flare, and again, hope we get more lands. Why are we missing our land drops? Like, I've flooded with 16 lands before. Like, it's just so stupid. It makes no sense. Now we get a land? Sweet. Guess we want to run the Chainflower Centipede first and attack. Jukai Trainee. Right, I guess I can do some stuff here. I guess we can play Reckoner Raid. I could pump the Chainflower Centipede with Life of Toshiro. It's difficult for him to block. I think I do that. Yeah, I guess dealing 4 is more than dealing 3, even though a trade here wouldn't be the worst. This is a little bit more riskier, but it deals more damage, so I'll go for it. Yep, and we get well rewarded for doing that, so that's good. Ooh, Kira. Alright, that's gonna be rough to deal with too. So now what? If I take out Kira, I guess I can pump up the Iron Apprentice and then reconfigure onto it. And then move counters around if we need to trade. Yeah, I think I like that. He still gets a big creature, which is kind of annoying, but I think it's okay. He could also block with a Jukai Trainee, but this is okay. I guess, yeah, now I can put a counter here. He gets a pretty large creature, and then maybe we can draw our way out of it. He's searching his library for 3 lands, okay. So I guess he has bigger bombs to cast over making a large creature, so that's very interesting to note. Yeah, I guess he's running maybe Kami's War or something, since it's really strange that he wants to get lands over. Oh, never mind. Just Embrace, alright. Surprised he just didn't make a creature. I mean, I think he's better off just making a creature. Not sure. Alright. Get our Sagas down, and then hopefully play Scrapyard into some Kamis to draw some cards. To kind of get out of this weird mess we're in. And lo and behold, we got our 4th land, so this is fine. Alright, kills the Menacer. Alright, respects the Menacer, so at least we get to draw a card off a Kami. It doesn't deal with our Scrapyard. Kami's Flare doesn't do it, so we'll just draw a card. And yes, there you go. Next turn we can draw more cards. And then eventually find maybe a Voltage Surge to answer this. Bamboo is fine. Alright, we can even play double Song Shaper, but I think we just run out the Kamis here. Get value while we can. And then we'll say go, and then we'll just keep going wide here. Eventually deal with the Bamboo Grove Archer, hopefully, and kill him. Yeah, I guess we just run everything out. Yep. I guess I can even hold on to the Iron Apprentice next turn to trigger the Song Shapers. Terrarium is fine. He can even use it to, I guess, modify the Bamboo Grove Archer. I should have maybe kept up red for a potential Life of Tashiro. Yeah, I should have kept up red so he doesn't put a 1-man counter under the Grove Archer, so a bit of a misplay there too. So hopefully we can top deck another artifact to enable a decent attack next turn, so yeah, we'll see go. Nope. Well, we'll just run out the artifact anyways. And I guess he's forced to chump this Scrapyard Steelbreaker anyways. So I guess we just have to attack here, and yeah, he's forced to chump this because if he doesn't, he just loses the game. Doesn't even block, right? So he just gives the game for us. Sure. But Kira is definitely scary. I think he should have actually, again, made a creature off of Kira instead of getting lands, but he must have clicked really fast and misclicked, so yeah, that's fine. And then I think I still like this with what we have. Didn't see too many artifacts. Voltage Surge could actually be better than Kami's Flare still, since he has Kira and all this 4 toughness stuff going on. But I'm still kind of just liking this just because it can deal face damage, so sure. We'll just run this again and hopefully try to run him over. So probably going to be on the play. This hand sucks. We need red mana. I mean, a single red mana can go a long way. So maybe I still try it. And maybe if I lose this one, it's still fine. Alright, red mana's good, so I think we just have to run out the Iron Apprentice anyways. If he plays Archer, I think I'm just going to Kami's Flare it. Gorogoro is also... Don't need to take out Gorogoro yet. Song Shaper. And then maybe we can kill it next turn and smash for 3, or maybe we can prompt a trade, who knows. Maybe a Master's Rebuke. Nope, Grafted Growth, right. I mean, he can activate this next turn, so he can attack and activate, so I think we just gotta flare this thing now. And it's nice getting the extra 2 damage in, and we can just attack for 3. Terrarium, so more lands. Opponent's definitely going hard on this 3-color Jund deck. And no follow-ups, okay. Yeah, we can smash for a lot, so first things first. Let's run out the Apprentice. Let's run out the Bronze Plate Boar. And smash for 5, which is a lot of damage, so that's pretty sweet, and just concedes. Wow, he must be really salty, holy crap. I don't blame the opponent, like, you know, it's kind of sad seeing the worst color beat, like, one of the best colors in this set. But, I mean, red is not that bad, honestly, guys. Don't sleep on it. Just realize red is trying to do its own thing. And you can say, and you can say the same thing about blue and white as well. They're both, all three of those colors are not as flexible as you think they are. Whereas, like, green and black have more options overall. But yeah, let's just keep playing. Alright, final boss. And, yeah, it's one of these hands again. Well, we have Reckoner Raid on one, but being on the play with 4 red spells, I don't think we can keep. This hand, at least we can maybe bomb a mountain. We'll try this. And then eventually, hopefully we get to our 5th land. And we gotta greet our opponent to be nice, so... So maybe ninjas, alright, again, we just wanna get a modified Iron Apprentice for 2, which is really sweet. And then Simian Sling. And we can even reconfigure and hit for 3 next turn. So yeah, we're pretty off to a very aggressive start. So blue-red. Opponent has his own Kumano, alright. But yeah, he's got it a little bit earlier, so... Guess we'll play land, keep a Voltage Surge, and just attack. I could also reconfigure here for the hell of it. Not sure if it matters. Probably does, we'll see go. I guess it doesn't, maybe. So this is a cast trigger, so I can't really respond if it has more than 1. Alright, and that's kind of awkward, so... Yep, I guess we can Voltage Surge, sacrificing our Apprentice next turn. I think I'll do that. So we can move the counters onto etchings. And then we'll play another Iron Apprentice, attack, and then reconfigure onto the Kumano, I think, next turn. I guess we can also reconfigure onto Iron Apprentice to attack past the Kumano if he stays on defense. I guess that makes the most sense. So yeah, Voltage Surge being able to take all the Samurai was quite huge. I guess he might have a Gift of Wrath here, but if he does, I can just reconfigure onto this, hit for 5. Either way, we have a pretty decent attack next turn. Peerless Samurai, alright. I guess we want to reconfigure onto etchings. If he's attacking here, I might actually trade. I mean, it's not bad, this is kind of annoying. Is there anything for 1 blue that can mess us up? Not really. And then, either way, if I reconfigure and hit for 5, yeah, this is annoying. Let's just get rid of these blockers. I guess it doesn't count as dying. So I might have messed that one up. Alright, never mind. I mean, getting rid of 2/2 is still kind of paramount, and At least this can smash for 5, and he's forced to stay on defense next turn, so if he blocks, then we can ping him. And we're about to get 4th land for Scrapyard. He can lock this down. I can unreconfigure and hit for 1. Yeah, I mean, trading for it isn't that bad either way, because if I don't deal with the exile effect eventually, like, it's still not going to put a counter anywhere, so the trade, I think, was actually worth it. So opponent with, like, Peerless Samurais to help him ramp into some big things, also playing a bit of a kind of aggressive deck. But now he has to face a 5/5 Kumano here. And he probably needs to take 5 here. Tawashi Songshaper isn't bad, but we'll smash for 5 and play the Songshaper. Next turn we can even yeah, reconfigure onto it. I don't know if this is the opponent just throwing in a towel or something, but the opponent has these weird chumps. I'm running 16 lands, and we're still missing our 4th and 5th land. Man, I love this game sometimes. Sometimes I run 17 lands and I get screwed like this as well, or I run 16 and I get completely flooded. Atsushi, that's a good one, although he still doesn't have any good blocks, so how do I end this game? So I could just kill Atsushi with the Voltage Surge. I could also just attack with a 5/5 and have him chump it. If I kill Atsushi, I can hit him, put him down to 1, but it's not too different from just attacking with the etching, so I think we're just going to keep up the Voltage Surge and just attack for 5. And if he chumps, he's just going to draw cards, but then he's going to take 1 to the face, at the very least. And gets it exiles too, so he doesn't actually trigger. Oh wow, that's so hilarious. Holy crap, he doesn't even get the effect from Atsushi, because he needs to die, so Kumano just shutting him down completely. So there was really no need to Voltage Surge, except to maybe get him down to 1. I guess I would have exiled it anyways, and he would have been down to 1, so sure. I'll just attack with both then next turn, or just reconfigure onto the 2/2. I guess he could have his own Voltage Surge to kind of blow us out, so we'll see. I guess he could have a Gift of Wrath, and then we can just Voltage Surge in response. Sword Circuits. Sure. I'm not sure if there's anything for 2 mana that can mess us up here. Maybe I just shock this end of turn, put him down to 1. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. And then I'm not going to sacrifice anything here. You could have the Flicker effect here. Planar Incision. I mean, I guess I'm fine with that too. That's a pretty weird trick to be having, but I'll take it. And then I can attack for 5. Ping him in the face, and then funny thing is that we can even move the Simian Sling eventually to attack with the Songshaper just to ping him for 1. And just decides to concede, alright. So I could see myself cutting the Shattered States era in this deck, since there's nothing too interesting to steal from the opponent. Like, there's probably just a Sushi and that's it, but if I have removal, I can deal with a Sushi anyway, so I think we can ditch it and just throw in another Voltage Surge, since the opponent seems to be playing a lot of cheap stuff, just like our deck. And then 9/7 is still okay, so we'll try it. I guess there's also something to be said about explosive entry. Overall, we did see a mix of just like enchantments and artifacts and enchantments. The Short Circuit was a bit of a strange card. Kumano, he also has his own Kumano, so it's not necessarily an artifact, and the Peerless Samurais are also not artifacts, so we'll run this back. Just throw in an extra Voltage Surge to answer some of the early creatures. Alright, this hand seems okay. Not that impressive, but it has 1-drops in both of our colors, so I'll take it here. Well, obviously better if we have some sagas going, but this is still fine. We can answer things early with the Voltage Surge. Uprise or Renegade could just Kami's Flare, just because it's an annoying blocker. And then we can save Voltage Surges to deal with, like, Atsushi. Just cycles Mnemonic Sphere. And that's okay. I guess I don't mind just playing off Centipede and attacking. And if it trades, I can put a woman counter onto Centipede, so that's okay. And then we can maybe Voltage Surge just next turn, just in case he keeps it back as a blocker. We're fine taking 2. Hopefully he doesn't start modifying and making 1/1 counters everywhere. He could also have his own planar incision. Could have his own explosive entry. Entry would be kind of annoying because he can just make a 1/1 token if I kill this. So we'll see. So he might be holding up the planar incision, so step 1, I think we play out the Iron Apprentice. Step 2, we attempt to Voltage Surge, and if he tries to flicker it, we'll Voltage Surge it again. And he has it again, so we'll try to Voltage Surge again, and hope he doesn't have a second copy. So yep. Now we can punish him for playing a bad card. Not bad, but it's just like a 23rd playable, like it's not something you necessarily want to main deck. And now I can just reconfigure onto my Iron Apprentices. That's fine. So respecting the Chain Flow. Life of Toshiro, I guess I'll just run that out to deal damage. I can use it to punish a Simian Sling, but I just want to get through. And he still has nothing. Alright. And still has nothing. Alright, I guess that's just game over. Pretty unexciting win, but hey, I'll take it. And if he has a counterspell, right, that's cute. Even running a counterspell. Alright, I'm sorry opponent, but it's just, these cards are just kind of hilarious when I'm looking at them. Good game. I even have Simian Sling to end the game. But yeah, not a bad 3-0, so as you can see, best out of 3 has less competition and a lot more beatable games compared to Premier Draft. And I think that's just going to round out the video. And I might just do one more traditional draft before I sign off until new Capenna comes out, because I'm getting a little bit tired of drafting this set, even though it's definitely one of my all-timers. I also think, I believe I also saw on the schedule that Kaldheim will appear in Quick Draft, and Dominaria Premier Draft is going to happen around April, since this is currently March 20th, so we still have a couple of days. But yeah, it's just a simple black-red deck. This is like the 3rd time we drafted this, and surprisingly really impactful, really powerful, and can just function off of like 1 and 2 lands, assuming you have a lot of removal and 1-drops. So it's kind of crazy how you can just run people over with a deck like this. It's not the best one I've played. I've definitely played with a lot better ones, since cards like Chainflow Centipede and Double Bronze Plate Boar aren't really that exciting. Same with Scrapyard Steelbreaker. So usually, ideally, you want a lot more 1s and 2-drops, run 15 lands with more synthesizers. But either way, we still got away with it, so I'm not going to complain. So yeah, we'll just collect our prize here. And that's 8,000 gems, so I got another draft, a free draft off of this. Like you can just keep accumulating gems and then just go infinite if you keep doing best out of 3. So we'll just crack some packs and see what our pack 1 pick 1 would be. Pack 1 pick 1, Patchwork Automaton is basically the 2-drop you mostly want an uncommon for the red deck. Yeah, it's definitely a lot stronger than Tawashi Songshaper and Bronze Plate Boar, so this would be my first pick, and hopefully I can force mono red or go red black for it. And then some fine green commons. Again, the green commons are all pretty close in power level. Fang of Shigeki, nice early 1-drop, good enchantment creature for enchantment synergies. Also helps Master's Rebuke, Spinning Wheel Kick, and other fight effects. And then Fade is just a solid removal spell. Even in this format, there's plenty of artifacts and enchantments, but I would still pack 1 pick 1 Patchwork Automaton here. Bronze Plate Poor I don't think is very good, even though we had the main deck 2 copies in our previous draft. I would just take Assassin's Ink. Again, I'm not excited about first picking removal. I can easily take a Virus Beetle or even a Okiba Reckoner Raid over this pack 1 pick 1, but it still puts me in black, the best color. It's still a good card, and yeah, it's just puts me in black, which I'm happy to first pick. Clawing Torment also pretty decent. I think it's definitely better than Lethal Exploit at this stage in the format, and that's about it. Alright, as we see Apprentice, Fang, Clawing, it would be between these two. And again, since green tends to be pretty highly contested in on Arena, I might actually prefer Clawing Torment over Fang of Shigeki now, since it's actually really potent in the red-black and blue-black decks. Like, just 1 mana getting rid of a blocker is really powerful. It can drain, it's an enchantment for Kami of Terrible Secrets if you're heavy artifacts. And yeah, just very efficient. Yeah, I think at this point I'll take Clawing Torment over Fang of Shigeki, but it's really just between these two. Kind of off a bit on the green train, but still good. Only Cold Anvil versus Network Disruptor. Either way, like, by taking Network Disruptor, you're just either heavy blue and blue-black ninjas, or, or just take Only Cold Anvil, which is basically essentially every red deck. Yeah, at this stage, I think I would take Only Cold Anvil over Network Disruptor. Like, Network Disruptor is definitely very important in the Ninjas deck, and I think I prefer being in the Ninjas deck over Red-Black. But this just has this is just very important, more important than a Network Disruptor would be in in its archetype, and it's also just more powerful than the Network Disruptor in the long run. So, if I had a choice between red-black or blue-black, definitely blue-black, but a red-black is actually not too far behind from blue-black, and this is not only more powerful, but also a more important card, so I would take Anvil over Network Disruptor, but Network would be my second pick. Hitsuku Consumes All is not a very good enchantment. It's especially bad when you're playing black-red, since a lot of your permanents are 1-drops. The Exile effect gives a little bit of a hate for the green deck, and then the Dirt Chapter, a 3/3 trample, is fine, but getting the second paragraph to trigger where you win the game is kind of impossible. And yeah, it's a 3/3 can easily get blocked in the set either way. So I would take Anvil here. And if you ever played against double Oni Cold Anvil, it's definitely a nightmare. Jugen Defends the Temple, yeah, definitely the best card in the entire set. So I'll take it here, obviously. And then second pick here would be between Octopus and Songshaper, and Octopus is fine. If you end up blue-black, it's adds best. But I think it's not that important really in the blue-black deck, whereas Tawashi Songshaper is just, again, more important in red-black. I think this is a slightly more powerful card, but not by much. And if you ever curve out with Tawashi Songshaper, you can just kind of steal games. So I would take Songshaper over Octopus. And I don't think red is the worst color in the format. I think white actually is, since white's commons are a lot worse than red's after the first two. And then, yeah, I think I prefer blue over red. Kabatek Record, the best uncommon in the set, definitely take it. Second pick would be Prosperous Thief. And yeah, maybe this will put me towards green, since you can do some pretty crazy shenanigans with it, like looping back the turtle over and over. Can just end the game. But yeah, Kabatek Record, Prosperous Thief. AO is a bomb. I had the unfortunate circumstance of facing this twice in a row in a Premier Draft once, and trust me, it's just as bad as Farewell, if not worse. Like, this, you have to exile this or lock it down, and if you end up trading it or killing this off, not only do they have the ability to just gain a bunch of tempo by putting a bunch of stuff from the top 7 into the battlefield, but like even if they put 2 1/1 counters on each permanent, that's almost just similar, if not worse. So this card is kind of stupid and unfun to play against. But obviously the first pick. But if this wasn't this pack, Spirited Companion, the best white common, would be my pick here. Even though I talk bad about whites, you know, they have 2 really good commons, Spirited Companion and Imperial Oath. And afterwards, it just kind of drops off. Like Arrow of Enlightenment would be number 3, Golden Tail Disciple and Intercessor's Arrest are kind of tied as well. But they aren't really standout commons after the first 2, so you're either playing green-whites in this format, or you're splashing Imperial Oath in your green decks. So that's pretty much it, and I don't like to be base white, but I would slam dunk AO here. Moonsnare Specialist here would be my pick over Fang of Shigeki. Yeah, just an important ninja, and blue-black ninjas is the best deck in the format. And then Crimson Vow draft, even though we did like a quick draft already in the beginning, it would be between, I would take Cemetery Protector here. I think the card is good enough. I still think the Grixis colors are definitely a step above the white commons, but there's still some really good white commons anyways. Traveling Minister, Infantry, Heron of Hope, and then Kindly Ancestor, as well as the removal spells, Fierce Retribution, and the enchantment, the Sigarda's Imprisonment. But, you know, this is good. You know, you entered battlefield, exiling a card from a graveyard is kind of relevant. And then, you know, it's kind of crazy because if you exile a land and you're able to just play lands all day, you just make 1/1s all day. And the fact that its flash is nice, it can ambush a creature and get a free kill. So this has the highest potential, so I'll take Cemetery Protector. Now it's very interesting to know which one I would take here between Stormchaser Drake and Vampire's Vengeance. Stormchaser Drake, best in blue-white. But it can also be pretty good in blue-red if you pick up Ancestral Angers. So it's more of a build-around. Whereas Vampire's Vengeance, I still think I like this more than Stormchaser Drake. It's at its best in black-red, but you can still play this in like red-green. If you have a lot of high toughness, it's pretty good. And even in blue-red, sometimes, you know, even if you don't want to fire this off, you can, like, if you're facing against another aggressive deck, you can always sandbag this and just use it as a sweeper. And red is a better color than blue, and blue-black is the best deck in the format, and this is where it's at. So I think I would take Vampire's Vengeance over Stormchaser Drake. And at common, Stitched Assistant can be pretty cool if you have some Epic Heroes to sacrifice in blue-red, or Doom Dissenters and whatnot, or even Bailu Mig. But it would go 1, 2, and 3, I think. So, yeah. I think the color power rankings in Crimson Vow goes red, blue, black, white, and then green. And then, I would take Scavenger here. Valor Stance is also pretty good as well. It would be between these two. After that, it would probably be between like Heron of Hope, and then these kind of cards are kind of fillerish. And this is also a good card, but I don't want to be green in the format. So I could see the arc justification for taking Valor Stance, but I would still maybe just take Diregraph Scavenger. It just does so much in this format, and black I think is better than white. So it's close between these two, but probably still take Diregraph Scavenger. So there you guys have it. Thank you guys for enjoying this video or watching this video. Probably just make one more best out of 3 traditional draft video. Maybe do 3 traditional drafts since they go pretty quickly. And then, we'll just call it for Neon Dynasty until new Capenna comes out. So hope you guys enjoy my videos. And as always, thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.